rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy, the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe, and welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Y'all ready to rock? Y'all ready to rock? Let's go, y'all. Let's get that energy up, man. I've been working on something for y'all since the last time I saw y'all, man. Hey, y'all, welcome the host of Knicks After Party and Blorange Tears Hall of Famer Subliminal 209. What's good, sir?
What's good? What's good?
What's good? What's good, boss? How you doing?
I'm chilling, trying to not be in this hot ass. Oh, I'm already cussing. Hot weather. Yeah, it's just hot. It was just hot all weekend. It's hot right now, so I'm just outside. I'm not trying to be in the crib right now.
Yeah, man. I feel you, boss. I feel you. Hey, man. I've been working on something, man. I've been working on something since the last show ended. You know, I'm always grinding, like working on something. I always feel like, man, I got to give the people more stuff. I'm always feeling like, man, I got to give our people more, like more, always, just like more. So I've been working on a tribute video.
Okay, that's what's
up. A tribute video, man. I think it took me a little minute to put it together. It's a little raggedy. I'm gonna download it right now. Right, I'm gonna download it. Let me download it. I'm just gonna name it something simple like "Let's Go Knicks." So I'm naming it "Let's Go Knicks," and the downloaders begin. Okay, so at some point during the joint, y'all, Drip More was good. Always more. Drip More was good. Knicks for life is in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, y'all. Hey, Sub, let me ask you this. Okay, so the Knicks need a point guard, right?
Right. Ben need to win.
Knicks need a point guard, right? How does John Wall get bought out in one afternoon and signed with the Clippers that fast, and the Knicks still searching? The Houston Rockets buy out John Wall.
Right. Would they get him for?
He signed with the Clippers.
Would they get him for though?
Not for sure what the asking price is. Not for sure.
Yeah, because that has a lot to do with it too, though. I mean, the Clippers are contenders, so I'm sure he took a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got bought out, I'm saying he probably took a little less money than he would have if he would have joined the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Right. So I'm not the biggest John Wall fan due to injury, but I mean he was out for a whole year though.
Year and a
you know
half.
Year and a
half. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
remember he tore his Achilles with basketball activities, and then he tore his ACL tripping over his dog. And to be honest with you, at first when I heard the tripping over the dog thing, I was like, man, tripping over the dog, man. And then I got a small dog. And I know I tripped over him at least 8 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
That's why we couldn't have no small dogs. You know what I'm saying? We had to get big dogs around our family. Just too many people in the house, too many people in the crib. So
man.
Accidents happen. I mean,
accidents happen, bro. Because I laughed at this lady. This lady came in. This lady that used to work for me came in to work. She had a sprained wrist and a broken arm. And I was like, hey, what the fuck? Joni. Man, what's going on? And her name is not Joni, right? And so, okay. So you know how you tell a story and then you have to tell a story to explain the story? So,
right.
Okay, her name is not Joni, right? But she looks like the Joni from this TV show that used to come on back in the day called Happy Days. You know, Joni and Chachi. Anybody remember Joni and Chachi?
That's a little bit before my time.
Yo. Yeah, so she looks like Joni from Happy Days, and that's what we call her, Joni, right? And so at first it used to irritate her, but then after a while she was like, okay, all right, I'll go with it. Right? So we call her Joni, right? She came in with a sprained wrist and a broken forearm, like up here somewhere, right? And so we were like, what's going on? She was like, I tripped over my dog. And we were like, hey, are you having family problems? She's like, no, I just tripped over a dog. And so now when I heard about John Wall, the whole tripping over a dog thing and tearing his ACL, I'm not really like, no, that's a lie. Now I believe it because I've tripped over this dog. And luckily I've like fallen on something soft, like a couch or something like that to break my landing. But John Wall. So anyway, long story short. Yeah,
you still got that footwork where you karaoke through the house.
Yeah.
Around the dog,
yeah.
A little karaoke here, a little karaoke there.
Yeah, man. Got to do it. So let me ask you this: are you excited about free agency starting Thursday at 6 p.m.?
I mean, I think this whole Brunson deal is a lock. I mean, we've been talking about it since the trade deadline. At least I was on board back then. We just signed his pop, so I mean, it only makes sense. Everybody's talking about it, making room. It's not the worst idea. We're not bringing in another injured point guard, injury prone point guard. We're not bringing in a point guard who's over the hill. We're bringing in someone who's, not in his prime. Just he's almost there though. He's 24, I believe 24, 25.
Brunson?
Yeah. I mean, he's relatively young. I know that much. It's just like always though. We always gotta overpay for players. Just what it is until we become good and we're stable and we're making the playoffs every year. That's when we're not going to be overpaying for players. But for right now, we got to bring some guys in, and unfortunately, we just got to overpay for them.
Oh, unfortunately, it's a fact of life. But I do feel like, man. So let me just say this to you into the chat. First of all, for those that hadn't kicked it on the Knicks at Night podcast in a while, welcome. We're gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do this as much as I can. Sub and Cully do the Knicks after party Thursday nights at 11. So they occupy one end of the week. I'm gonna try to occupy this space right here. This end of the week here, so that you guys can get all the meat and potatoes, all the Knicks related content, all of that, all the time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So how I feel about it is this, man. I need to get a player. I need the Knicks to get a player that's gonna move the meter, right? So if Brunson comes in and all he is good for is 4 additional wins, say Brunson comes in and we finish 37 and what did we finish this year? 37 and 45 or something? 37 and 40 something. That's not good enough for me, man. I don't want to pay a cat that much money to come in and not be a difference maker, right? And for a dude that's a former second round pick, I don't want to spend that kind of bread on him. right? And I know that's going to sound condescending and selfish, but I'm a Knicks fan. So what? Right? The thing is if we're going to spend almost $28 million on a point guard, in my mind, this guy has to be elite. Has to be.
I hear what you're saying, though, but we've been waiting around, like I said, forever. So are we going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting for this knight in shining armor to arrive at our front step? No, we got to go get this guy while he's available. I mean, what are the other options? And we've talked about it before. Kyrie Irving. I was on board with Kyrie Irving. You know, an all-star, a Hall of Famer, someone that's a closer. But he also comes with all the headaches and the unknowns. At least with this guy, you know he's solid mentally. You know he's going to show up to every game. You know he has a chip on his shoulder. You know he can score all three levels. He just checks a lot of boxes. If you don't look at the 6-foot frame, then you would be like, oh, this if you look at his percentages and how efficient he is and how he get buckets, you wouldn't think about just handing him the money. Just take that equation out and we got ourselves a hooper. And that's kind of what I've been looking for, is just a hooper, a dog. I wanted to call him Sexton, but he's coming off an injury and he'd probably cause more. He's getting that max. He's on a max extension. He could be, So I mean, we're gonna have to pay to play regardless. Now,
I don't know though, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So look at it this way: you rather have Noels and D Rose back? How many games did D Rose and Noels play? Right?
Oh, okay, all right. So that was a low blow, bro. That was a low blow. That was a low blow, man. Okay.
I'm just saying, for the money and the time that they spend on the court, we could just give that to Brunson, you know what I'm saying, and figure out the other missing pieces. At least we have that solidified for the next 4 years. We still need to bring in wings. We still need to bring in shooters. We still need to bring in defensive players. That conversation doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? We still got to get rid of, our players to bring in better players. That conversation doesn't stop. But at least this question is answered, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
So I got a low blow for you. I think IQ is this player in 2 years. I think your heartstring, Emmanuel Quickley, is this same guy. Now, what I did, right? Because it was like, I was like, are they getting the same production just in different ways? You know how you could get to the same answer just in a different way? Are we getting the same answer or the same production in different ways? And so I did a deep dive earlier on the live stream when we were rocking. What I did was I went to Basketball Reference and I did the NBA player comparison between Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley. And guess who's the better player of those two over their career? If just based on averages.
But why not have both of them though? We still need someone to run the first unit and the second unit. So why not have both and we don't skip a beat?
Right. So but the thing is if you get Brunson, IQ is not allowed to develop. You know what I'm saying? What I'm getting at is this. When I did the NBA basketball comparison of Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley on basketballreference.com, it came out as a flat foot tie between those two players. And this is 4 years of Brunson and 2 years of Quickley. The career averages, they come out to a flat foot tie, right? Where Quickley is the better shooter, better free throw shooter, right? All this stuff. My man is a better assist man by 1 assist. He gets more minutes than IQ by about four minutes per game. But everything else is minutia, right? So what I asked myself when I saw it, because of course you got to think about this before you put it on the screen, right? Because you don't want people just to think you're a homer You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking like, well, why don't we just pass on Brunson, trade away all the vets, and let Emmanuel Quickley run the show? Right? And then if after seeing what all these kids can do or not do, you can now determine a clear path for the future. Say, for instance, you go out with your lineup of, and this is minus Randall. This is minus Randall. You go out here with your lineup of Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Obi Sims. Right? Off your bench, you got Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes, Farron Hunt, some veteran, probably Taj, right? And some, and then you fill in the back end of the roster with young players, right? But here's the only thing. Here's the thing. You can't have that low of a salary threshold, right? So with the veterans you trade these vets away for terrible contracts, and that you can get first round picks in return, right? Now, the thing is, no matter how bad this thing goes during the season, and no matter how frustrated you get, you got to play these kids through this one bad season to see if Emmanuel Quickley is indeed a starting point guard in the NBA, to see if Grimes can thrive in that 6-man off the bench role, right? To see if RJ Barrett can thrive in that role as a number one option, right? To see if Jericho Sims is indeed a starting caliber NBA center, right? You go through the season to see if you can answer all these questions, right? You get rid of all the vets. You take on one or two terrible contracts. Like you bring in Russell Westbrook and don't play him. You're like, LA, listen, we'll give you such and such, these quality veterans for Russell Westbrook. And then you don't play him. You sit him just like, hey, good. Go to New Jersey. Or Westbrook, go to Connecticut. Right? You go to Connecticut, you're not playing. Right? And with that said, you see what it is that these young kids can do if given minutes. And then if they're not up to par, you ship all of them out. Bring in some new kids on the block. Right? And so look, and established 1993, like he want to turn the Knicks into the OKC Knicks. Nah, Leon Rose is doing that already right before your eyes. Right? Leon Rose is behaving like Sam Presti right now. Right? That's what he's doing right now. But the only thing about it is Leon Rose is so close to the beginning. Like, this is so new. This OKC, this small market approach is so new to everybody that we can't recognize it yet because we've never been through it. Right? It's like when your mom and dad let you drive the car for the first time and you're just in the car by yourself. This whole experience is so new. You don't know what freedom is like. You're more excited about getting the keys than you are about driving the car. Because the keys mean freedom. The keys mean I can come and go as I please with your parents' permission. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So Sub, why not just skip the veteran thing altogether? Let these kids play. And then if you do end up with the number one pick, you take VW, right? And then you've added a quality piece, and then all of your young players have gotten better through experience. Why not take that approach?
See, that was my line of thinking before the draft. That's what I thought we were going to do. I thought we were going to get the bus filled up with all the youngins, get the permission slip signed, and keep that, movement going. Apparently, they switched gears on us one more time. They're trying to speed up the process. They're trying to right their wrongs from these veteran guys, get them off the books, bring in better veterans, and keep it pushing. So they saw what they had at what they saw out of IQ, and they just don't feel like he's ready to take the keys, like you mentioned. Why not bring in, like you said, a Brunson who IQ could be in 2 years.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You know, who IQ could be in 2 years, while we're still trying to make that playoff spot, bringing in another veteran. So it's not going to stop there. They're going to bring in another veteran besides Brunson. You know what I'm saying? And I see the direction.
Is that other veteran they bring in a NBA starter?
Yes, it has to be.
So what young guy do you take out? Do you take Mitchell Robinson out of the lineup or RJ Barrett out of the lineup? Because you already have two vets in Fournier and Randall that are starters, right? And if you bring in you have Mitch and RJ who are starters. Speaking of Mitch and RJ are starters, and then if you bring in Brunson and another starter, that's 6 players. That means one guy has to go to the bench. Who is it?
Somebody has to go. Maybe it's Fournier to the bench, which we've been asking for, or he could be gone in a trade. You know what I'm saying? If they clear up his cap space, that's 18 milli right there. You know what I'm saying? That they for sure be able to get Brunson and somebody else if they get rid of Fournier and Burks, what they've been talking about, or Fournier and somebody else, then they can make that cap space. You let go of Taj, you know, because his $5 million ain't guaranteed, and you can make it happen. You go get somebody. It has to be a defensive-minded player though that can shoot, a 3-and-D player. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw what Fournier and Kemba looked in the backcourt together. So to be able to cover Brunson's side, it has to be a defensive-minded guy that could cover a lot of ground. You know what I'm saying, and help out on the weak side. So I'm not sure who that player is. It's not going to be in free agency. It has to be through trade. Okay. You know, I just feel like they're speeding up the process though. But I was with you. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get the kids going in. You know, I was a little disappointed, as a lot of us were, on draft night. But you know, once the smoke cleared and we can see clear. Right. I can see the direction that they're going now. You know, they're just trying to hurry up and skip steps because, you know, we know that Tom Thibodeau wants to play, you know, veterans. We know Tom Thibodeau doesn't have the patience to have all these young kids, you know, on the team. So the less better, you know, the less the better. So now IQ get more run, Obi will get more run, Grimes get more run, and then who knows what's going to happen with Cam.
You would hope he's here because he's a young, talented player.
The talent is there. We all know that, though. It's just, can he put it all together? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But
what can we do as an organization to help him put it all together?
It has to be RJ. It has to be his Dookie brother. You know what I'm saying? They have to work out together. He has to bring out the best out of him.
Okay.
That's how I see it. I mean, no one else is they're the same, you know, close to the same age. You know, they are on the same team. I think it has to be up here to kind of just let them know, hey, let's grow this together. Let's go win chips together. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do it in Duke, but let's do it in New York. You know what I'm saying? That's the conversation I would have with him. You know, yeah. I mean, I'd rather have this Brunson than this Brogdon conversation that, you know, that they're having, that they're talking about. You know, Brogdon being a option. I'm good on that. You know.
Yeah, I'll pass. Yep. I'll pass on that. And so the thing about Brogdon is, I think Trevor Keels is Malcolm Brogdon. Is the Rugrats Malcolm Brogdon. Right. I feel like Trevor Keels is a little bit mixed between a Marcus Smart and a Lou Dort, depending on how they use him. You know what I'm saying? Because he originally is that combo guard, that point guard, shooting guard, but he's not really a shooter. You mean offensive? Because defensively, Keels is not ever going to be close to Lou Dort or Marcus Smart, bro.
But right now with his frame and what he was doing in college, he could guard 1 through 3. You know what I mean?
But he gets beat, and he gets beat off the straight line.
Right.
Like straight lined. Like you can line up in front of him and just go. You remember how Miles Bridges used to do RJ? Like RJ would be in his position, and Bridges was so quick he just take off by RJ, and RJ had to turn and run with him. Right. That's what Trevor Keels is at 220, at 224. Guys built like that can't stay in front of guys that they outweigh by 35 pounds. You feel me?
That's why I said a mixture. That's why I said a mixture. Like I don't know which one he could be. You know what I'm saying? He could be a little bit of this, a little bit of him, and a little bit of that. But I just don't know who he is altogether and how they use him. You know what I'm saying? Because is he going to be that guard that brings the ball up, or is he going to be more on the wing? Because now he's listed as a small forward. So I just
he's definitely not a small forward, bro.
Because he's only 6'4". You know,
his handles are too good, bro. His handles are, I'm not gonna say elite, but his handles are very good for an 18-year-old college freshman. I'll put it that way.
Right.
I'll put it that way. His handles are, now he is right hand dominant, right? You know, we have two players that are left hand dominant, so he is right hand dominant. He does go left when forced left, but he doesn't prefer going with the. You know, a guy like Ja can go either way, take what the defense give you. He is not that. He is not that. Right? Yeah. So you have a guy.
So you think he's running the point then? Is what you're saying?
He's definitely an NBA combo guard. I'm not gonna say he's a point guard, but he'll be more in that Emmanuel Quickley mold early on. Like play off the ball a lot. They'll give him a little responsibility to see what he can do, right? At some point. And if he can do it, they'll allow him to do it. And if he can't, he'll either work on it. I named this frame right here "Delightful Dunks" after Dunker's Delight.
Dunker's Delight, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, man, I think the kid can contribute, but I think by late February, March, he'll be able to contribute to the big club. But he's got to get in the NBA weight room, bro. He's got to get in the NBA weight room, right? Because he's a RJ. You see RJ in this picture right here. This is him. That's Keels going to the basket. Like he's not going to go by you, but he uses those shoulders and body to bump you off and make room, separate and all that stuff. And during the course of the game, that wears smaller guards down, right?
But you still have to finish though, because you're going to meet up with 7-foot centers at the same time, at the cup, and he doesn't play above the rim. So he's not gonna, like you mentioned, another RJ Barry who could bully his way to the cup, but is he gonna finish is a question in the NBA. The other thing is that just to me, that just means that they're not confident in Deuce, which I mentioned that they weren't, and I mentioned that they were going to probably bring in another point guard just to give them, some competition to see, who's going to step up to the plate at the end of the day. And they brought in another one with Jean Claudio Montero, So
Jean Claudio. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like him. Is he as fast as what people say he is?
Yes, he changes gears, very shifty. Where like skit skirt, like I'm gonna just change direction and change gears at the same time. But that's kind of how, like a D Rose can, just that burst, hit you with that burst, just catch you sleeping and just take off.
Right.
See, that to me makes more sense because he brings a different element to the game. I feel like Trevor Keels is more, like a bigger Deuce McBride, where they kind of have the same game, except like you mentioned, he has better, he can handle the rock better and get to the cup, which Deuce doesn't seem like he's comfortable doing it, or he does, he's not as fast with Montero. He brings that D Rose element to the game where you can drive and kick. But
I think Keels is going to remind you of Chauncey Billups. And here's why I would say something that egregious, right? Trevor Keels played. Okay, Trevor Keels starting 5. And I don't know if any other school did this, but Trevor Keels starting 5 had 4 first-round picks in it, right? So the first-round picks were Pablo Banchero, right? Mark Williams, AJ Griffin, and Wendell Moore. All of those dudes were first-round picks this season. And he took those first-round picks to the Final Four, right? Keels was the guy doing most of the ball handling, the primary ball handler for that team, right?
And he was a third leading scorer on the team too.
Yeah. And he was the youngest player of all. No, I'm sorry, AJ Griffin was. I think AJ Griffin is younger by like a few weeks, but both are 18 years old right now, right? And so you take a guy that has all the fundamentals you need to be a starting point guard, right? He don't have the things on your wish list, but he does have all the things that are necessary. Like you remember how your son asked you for a car? Pops, I need a car. And you go buy him a Honda Civic and he wanted a Ferrari. You're like, son, you in 11th grade. What am I going to do buying you a Ferrari? You're like, oh, I need a car. Well, that's why we bought you this safe Subaru Outback. And he like, I can't drive a Subaru. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
You better take this little $500 yucca that you got to put a quarter oil every time you take off in it.
yeah. You better have that oil money too. You got to have gas money and oil money. You know what I'm saying? So I think in about 2 years, I think you'll see Keels be a solid NBA point guard with upside. And his upside is if he adds an in-between game, because right now when he drives, he's RJ Barrett. He's a bowling ball going to the rim. He's a shrunken down version of RJ Barrett going to the basket. Right? And I mean, because he's not going to finish at the rim either. RJ can't finish. Keels can't finish. Right? Must be a Duke thing. But anyway.
That's what I was getting at, though. Yeah, there's a lot of untapped potential, and going to a good school. So, any of the Dukes, the Kentuckys, any schools like that, like, all right, they kind of play their role. They don't get, they don't really get to shine, like the way they could and show all their skills. So yeah, like we just don't know because he played in a different role than he probably normally wouldn't on a different team, different school. Right. So I hear you though, and he fell. I mean, he was supposed to be in the first round. He was mocked, saying to go in the first round through the whole, the beginning of the year. And then now, he just kind of fell. So he just kind of fell to us at 42. So
yeah, and no college team ever puts 5 first-round picks in the pros. You know what I'm saying? No college team is ever going to do that. Not because the feat can't be done, but you can't showcase 5 first-round picks on a team in 1 year. It's impossible. Right? No, even when you had the Fab Five, even when the Fab Five was in college, it's impossible to showcase 5 freshmen and second-year players at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got to take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? Somebody kind of, got to let somebody else shine.
Somebody's got to be the orchestrator. Somebody's got to be the orchestrator. And this year for Duke, it was Trevor Keels. Right? I'm gonna change this mic. I'm gonna go mute for a second. I'm gonna put this mic.
Yep, I hear you. I don't know how much run he'll get. I think it'll be another situation like last year and just get spot minutes here and there. Probably spend a lot of time in the G League until his number's called, and hopefully he can step up and we'll see. But as far as this Brunson talk though, is how do you feel about any other point guards that be rumored, that are being rumored, like I feel like that Dejounte Murray one is just smoke. You know what I'm saying, I don't think that one has any legs to it. Why would the Spurs give him up? You know what I mean,
They are. I hear at the moment they are hot and heavy in discussions with Atlanta. I hear it's almost as if the deal to Atlanta is done.
For what, Collins?
Gallinari.
What?
Gallinari in first round picks. Yeah, because Gallinari has a Gallinari's last year, this upcoming season, he's being paid 16, but you can cut him and just pay him 5. So Spurs would save $11 million in cap space.
Yeah, but you still need a player to grow your team, around, and you know what I'm saying, and you still need the cap space to, everybody needs to spend the cap, a certain amount of cap space. So why not just keep him? I mean, he's not on a terrible contract, anyways.
Right.
I don't see any reason for them to literally just get rid of him just to get a couple more draft picks. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. Eddie C, what's good, bro?
What's going on? What's up, Sub?
What's good? What's good?
Chilling, man.
How you feel about all this? You on the Brunson train, or are you looking at somebody else to bring in?
Oh no, I'm definitely hoping that we get Brunson. I don't think paying him 25 mil. If you look at the rest of the contracts for the point guards, he's gonna be getting paid right above people like Mike Conley and people of that ilk, and I think he's better than that right now, especially at his age. So I don't mind paying him 4 years, 25 to 27. If we're able to get, a 25-year-old kid in our system. So I'm definitely a go for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, and he's intellectual too. Have you ever heard him speak at any of the interviews? He's a well-spoken young man.
Smart,
like, yes. A lot of those other cats be interviewing, they be like,
You know what I mean? Like I said, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
He's well spoken, and he's already won 2 championships in college. So he's been in big games. This is, I don't know if is this his 3rd season in the NBA, Freeze? Do you know that?
No, this will be his 5th.
This is going to be his 5th. So okay. All right. So yeah. I mean, I think that's the best we can go. That's the best we can do. And when it pertains to somebody like Murray, you guys were just talking about Murray, right? When I was coming in.
Yep.
Right.
The thing that as players side by side, definitely Murray is the better player, right?
Then who?
Than Brunson. He's bigger.
Okay.
I think they're around the same age, but he's bigger and maybe more athletic. He's probably a player that's easier on the eyes. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
But when you look at other attributes, you just mentioned this how intellectual Brunson is. There's been rumblings of the attitude that Dejounte Murray has. I don't know that to be true, right? Like, nothing has come out to the light to say that he's a bad teammate or a bad guy or this and that, right?
Right.
But what it basically comes down for me is after this year, the year after this year, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent.
Right.
And I think that he's looking at a 5-year, $250 million deal. And if you add that to what because everybody's looking at it like, man, how can the Atlanta Hawks get this guy for Gallo and 3 first-round picks? Why can't we get him? You know what I'm saying? Why this and that?
Especially when our picks should be better, right? And especially when our picks should be better.
In essence.
Yeah.
that's the one of the big reasons is because when it comes down to his contract negotiation, there's two things that can happen, and which is the high risk, which is a little bit too much high for me, is he can bolt after 2 years and you've given up all these first round picks for him. He can go to another team, and then secondly, you're gonna have to pay this guy from 40 to 50 million per year. So then when you look at it from that, if you don't have that much, okay, so now you have Dejounte Murray in Atlanta, who's I think right now San Antonio is catching a lick, but if you have Dejounte Murray that's asking for 40 to 50 million, and then 2 years after that, I believe Trae Young's a free agent and he's gonna be asking for 50 million. That's 100 million off your cap right there.
Yep.
So you have to think about things like that, man. And is that like the perfect backcourt? There's just a lot of things. To me, it's just a lot of things. To me, it's just too much of a risk to take. But Atlanta's willing to take that risk.
So Atlanta's GM is a former Knick. Am I correct?
You talking about Landry Fields?
Landry Fields. Landry Fields. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
And then Eddie C, the thing that you didn't mention is if they get rid of Gallo and take on Murray, they still have John Collins at 23 mil a year starting this year. And he's got Trae at 36 mil. Trae has got 5 years, 212 mil. It's starting this year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have Trae Young on his rookie max extension. You have John Collins on 5 years, 102 mil. And then you would be having Dejounte Murray's vet extension coming up after these 2 seasons are up.
Mr.
Right?
Middleton just also mentioned Capella is 18.
Yeah, Clint Capella is 18, 206, 897.
How many more years is
Capella has $61 million left, so he's got
4 years?
36. Shoot, that's looking like 4 years left.
So that's the team. Like is man.
And Bogey has 2 years left at 18 per. Herder has 4 years left at 14 and a half.
They're looking at like going for it in these next 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're Atlanta, why not? Why not? Why not go for it?
That's 3 first-round draft picks. So it would be the 2023, which is going to be probably the most enticing one, right? 2023, 2025, and 2027.
Okay.
So after,
so depending on Atlanta's attractive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's attractive because you have 2 dynamic guards in the backcourt. I think the better and hear me out on this because it's going to sound weird when I say it. I think the better assist man is Dejounte Murray, right? I think the better passer is Trae Young, right? And I know that's like, well, what are you talking about? I think Dejounte Murray hunts for assists, and I think Trae Young passes to you if you work to get open. If that makes sense. If you work to get open, Trae Young will find you, right? Trae Young is like Tom Brady, right? But Dejounte Murray is like Joe Montana. Anybody ever heard that quarterback, Joe Montana?
We got the Spanish Enya in there, Montana.
Joe Montana. Yeah. And so there are different types of passers. I think Trae Young has elite court vision and elite passing accuracy, right? I think Dejounte Murray is the athlete that he reminds me of a Donovan McNabb type passer, where he's got the athleticism to do things in a pocket that a lot of people can't, and an above average. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get guys.
I got you.
Yeah, but he's not Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? If you work to get open, Tom. Yo, I saw Gronk put a triple move on a safety, and Tom Brady damn near put the football in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? I saw Julian Edelman get mugged at the line of scrimmage by a linebacker and do that weird slot in and out where you fake like you going in and you stop and go back out. And Tom Brady damn near put the ball in his hand warmers. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady will get you the football, bro. That's what I'm saying about these two type passes. And I know it sounds weird, right? But what I'm getting at is Atlanta, by doing that move, for one, by putting Dejounte Murray on the floor, you could run. Listen to this defensive unit. Right? You can run Dejounte Murray, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, and Clint Capella. That's one hell of a defensive unit. I know that's only 4. I'm assuming they'll throw a 5th person in there.
Oh, Trae is probably.
No, I'm talking about when you go all defense. When you go all defense, you ain't putting Trae in there.
When you go to all defense.
Yeah, when you go all defense against Atlanta, and when Atlanta goes all defense, they ain't putting Trae Young in there. He's terrible. Right?
Who did they draft? They drafted AJ Griffin, right? He's bad defensively.
Yes. Yeah, he's terrible defensively.
But another shooter, though. They
another
love
shooter.
Shooters. You know what I'm saying?
I guess Bogdanovich would be in that discussion.
Yeah, Bogey. Yeah,
because Trae, he collapses the defense. You know what I'm saying? And Capella would be like Gronk. You know what I'm saying? A security blanket for Brady when he has to kick it out real quick, has to dump it off. You know what I'm saying? Has to dump it off. So
I think if they get Dejounte Murray, they're gonna try to get off of Capella. Because they have a Kongu. They have a Kongu there, and they're gonna try to offload. I can see them offloading, one of those guys, maybe a DeAndre Hunter or maybe the Herder guy with Capella to get off of his money.
Right,
they have to consolidate too.
Yeah, I would definitely get rid of Bogdanovich.
That's
what I'm saying, because of duplicity. Because to be an offensive player, Bogdanovich doesn't give you like 20 points a game or 15.20. You know what I'm saying? Bogdanovich he's not an elite offensive weapon to be considered an offensive weapon, right? If you want to keep a player, you keep a young player. Like for instance, you would trade Bogdanovich and then give Jalen Johnson, the power forward out of Duke from last year, those minutes, right? And how you do that is by keeping Hunter at the 3 and then playing Johnson at the 4 along with Capella or Onyeka Okongwu, whoever, at the 5. In my opinion, their offense, it would be flexible like that. And here I am, a Knicks fan, diehard since like Eddie. See, I've been a diehard Knicks fan since 1975. Right?
You got about 10 years on me.
Talking about being a Knicks fan, you've been a Knicks fan since 1985?
Probably like 87. I was around like 8.
Okay. Bro, that's why when people talk to me about young calls, I'm like, I don't even want to hear it, bro. I already done been through 9 young calls. I already had 9 young call conversations in my lifetime, bro. I don't want to hear it no more. Because in 2 years, people are gonna be like, yo, we got to deal with the youth, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, didn't we just have this conversation 5 years ago?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't we just have this conversation with Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin? And y'all want to start this whole conversation all over again, man? I'm just burnt out with it, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, but for some reason, man, my gut feeling is that I'm not even buying this Dejounte Murray to Atlanta. I think it's just smoke.
Right.
I said the same thing, Eddie. I said I don't think it has any legs. You know what I'm saying? They just throwing stuff. They just throwing darts. You know what I'm saying, in the dark now, trying to see if
Okay.
anything sticks. Like, nah.
I mean, I guess it's good for conversation, and then the Knicks will always turn it around like it's them, like it's all about us, and it be, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because then even we're not even in the you know what I'm saying?
So the alternative is so y'all saying Jalen Brunson is in the bag then?
I mean, it only makes sense. So we got his pops here. We're clearing up
If
cap space. I mean, who else
if
they
I
doing that for?
if I was a betting man, I would say so.
If I was a wise man, I would say hell no. I would keep that money and go talk to the Cleveland Cavaliers about Kevin Love. Hey man, let me get Kevin Love off of y'all. You know what? Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and something for Kevin Love and Isaac Okoro.
Hmm. Like I thought you trolling, but the Coro threw me for a loop, but you're still trolling, bro.
No, why would I? But why would I keep? Think about this, because if you get Kevin Love, you can sit him and not play him. If you have Fournier and Rose, you gotta play him. You gotta
But
play him.
there's nothing that what the Knicks have done in the past 2 years that'll show you that they're willing to do that. Like they've had players that are getting paid such money, and you can probably say that the younger kids are outplaying them, and they're still starting these guys. So it doesn't give you an inclination that they were willing to do something like that.
Eddie, see, look at the numbers. See, I got the numbers on the screen, right? You see the per game for Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley, right? Right. And when you scroll across, there is the only effective field goal percentage. I think maybe he's winning by like a half a percentage point, right?
Hmm.
Everything else is like a tie, right? Why would I trade? Why would I sign a dude for 27.5 million when Quickly can put up his numbers this year?
Okay, so I saw you put I heard you speak about this. I think it was this afternoon.
Right.
And the thing is this, um, sometimes players come into the league and they don't play off the bat.
Right.
I can name a million guys. You know what I'm saying? You,
We not gonna wait all night till you name a million dudes, bro.
so, but
You,
okay,
you think we gonna be? You
you
think
can
we gonna
say
be here
Paul
for 5
George.
days?
You can say Paul George didn't play that much. His first 2 3 years. You could say Giannis didn't play that much his first 2 3 years. And now they're one of the better team players in the league. So when it comes to stuff like this, like Emmanuel quickly has been playing off the bat for a bad team, right? So his numbers, he's getting his numbers for sure. And Jalen Brunson, was a second round pick, so he was probably G League. I'm not sure about his story, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is this: is that players pop at different points in time, and you really don't know when they're gonna pop. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, I can give you an analogy. I think it's a bad analogy, but I think it's somewhere where you can like grab onto it so you can try to make sense of what I'm saying. Like we can go back to the Jaden Ivey and the John Morant thing where we didn't know who they were until the second years in college, and then they become lottery picks. So there was a point in time when those guys, weren't who they were, and then all of a sudden they pop. And to me, Jalen Brunson just popped last year. He was
And in the
getting he
playoffs.
was becoming a good player the year before. He was like on that upward trajectory, right? He had a good year last year, then he had a bad playoffs, right? That was the talk. This year, he played great the whole year and he had a remarkable playoffs. So, to me, that's when you jump on that player per se and you say, okay, this kid, this is what he is now. So to me,
Okay.
you know, I get the numbers. I get where you're coming from with that. But like I always say, sometimes the numbers can be a little bit deceiving depending on how you look at them.
I think the only time numbers are deceiving is when people lose arguments. Like for instance, and I'm not saying you per se. I'm saying when you can't quantify what a cat can do, you be like, don't look at the numbers. But if he led the league in something, say if he led the league in 3-point percentage, we'd be saying, man, you got to sign him. Look, he led the league in 3-point percentage,
Hmm.
right? And so what I'm saying about Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley is this, right? Quickley started earlier, being more productive. Quickley is more productive at an earlier age
Hmm.
than Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is going into his age 26 season, right? Has never averaged 20 points a game. He has never made the All-Star team. He has never played an 82-game schedule where he has been the head honcho of a franchise. And we're asking him to basically do all that stuff for New York.
Hmm.
But he knows that though. That's why if he joins the Knicks, he knows what all that is asked from him. So that even makes me want to bring him to the Knicks for that reason even more, because he's ready to step up to the plate. He knows how bright the lights are. He knows how crazy us Knicks fans are. He knows what the media is gonna do. Like he's already being prepped for that. He's already mentally ready for all that. So if he takes that challenge, if he joins the Knicks, man, I'm gonna be so hyped for that reason. Not like everybody else ducking the smoke. Oh no, I'm only going over there if this person goes over there. I'm only going over there if this and that other person. Man, this dude's, if he comes over here for whatever money they trying to send him, 25 milli, 27 milli, like come on now. We was all hyped when Julius Randle was the only person that wanted to take the bag and took a pay cut. And we were on board then. Yeah, nobody wants.
So if Julius was like the king, like Bernard King, we're gonna call Jalen Brunson like Napoleon.
Say that again.
Yes, I guess. If you talk about little man complex, but yeah, but I'm just concerned about that, bro. That's all. I'm merely concerned that a guy that hasn't done it is thinking he can do it on the biggest stage in basketball. It's something you don't want to take that lightly, bro. Being the starting point guard of the Knicks is, it's something. It's something that you can't just take lightly, man.
The only thing that I'm worried about with him is overuse. Like I think he can come here and I think he can be the 1A to Julius's 1B. I'm being totally honest with you, bro. Because I examine these things and I have a very clinical eye when it comes to whatever that I say and whatever I'm putting my money to. I think he wants to be the 1A, and I think he's going to do an admirable job about it. I think next year he's going to come in, score 20 points a game, probably have 6-7 assists per game, and like another 5 rebounds per game. I think that's what he can do that.
Yeah, because he's unselfish. You know what I'm saying? He can play off ball or he can go get his own bucket.
Randall might be able to trust him. Randall might be getting the ball. He might be getting passes from Randall. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be great for RJ. He's going to be able to settle RJ down. What I worry about him the most is overuse.
Okay.
Right.
Because then, because Derrick Rose, who knows if Derrick Rose will play the whole season? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I
right?
think Rose is done.
Okay, so Derrick Rose is out. Emmanuel Quickley, he might be able to take some minutes. I think Emmanuel Quickley might be sliding between the 1 and the 2 next year. And that's a great role for him. He's going to be good at that, man.
Right. Our skill players need an upgrade, bro. I still see us dealing with the same issues we dealt with last season. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With our guard shooting 40% from the floor, 37% from 3, finishing 15 points below league average at the rim. Like league average was 57%, and the Knicks guards, they were all up and down. But for the most part, they were like 10. Maybe 15% is overdoing it. I think they were like 10% below league average for the most part. So if you can't shoot from three, you can't shoot from the mid range, and you can't finish at the rim, and you 30th in the league in assists, what are you really doing? I know that sounds weird.
He's gonna help out in all those categories.
Here's our boy A. Cully. Not only give us a Jalen Brunson. Cully, I know you love Jalen Brunson, right? But not only give us a Jalen Brunson, but probably give us a Malik Monk to go with him. How do you like that, Cully?
I like it with the Malik Monk throwing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How you like that, Eddie C? A Malik Monk, Jalen Brunson backcourt.
Well, I think that's gonna suck. Like, I mean, that's probably good in spurts, but I heard the Malik Monk thing. But if that's the case, we gotta make space, man. Like, Evan Fournier has to go.
I'd rather Miles Bridges and Jalen Brunson, but yeah.
Yeah, Jalen and Miles Bridges is team, his crew, his boys say if Charlotte don't pony up, he's signing with Detroit.
Oh, I know because I sent you. Well, yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, Detroit, they got an eye on him too.
Why are the Knicks not in any of these conversations?
That's what's making me mad, Freeze. Why am I not seeing the Knicks? That's supposed to be a Knicks article.
Well, I think the thing with that is, why am I going to pay Miles Bridges $130 million for 4 years if I got Miles Bridges on my roster already?
That's what I was gonna get at. Would you guys rather go that direction and pay Miles Bridges the money and then just get this average Joe point guard, or just run it with IQ?
No, I'm talking about. I got Obi Toppin on my team.
Wait,
bro.
who's the average Joe point guard? So,
I mean, whoever's available. I mean, whoever's available in free agency. You just
well, Jabba, just go get a stopgap, man, for the time being.
You go get.
So you're saying
we have to prioritize PG. But go ahead, my fault, Eddie.
Go get Dennis Schroeder, DJ Augustine. Sign both of them.
So you saying go Miles Bridges and Tyus Jones?
Hey, that wouldn't be bad.
Why not?
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah.
I don't think Tyus Jones is a starter though. I think he'd be excellent in the backup point guard role.
Yeah, he can run a unit though.
But for us that'll be perfect because that allows you to let Quickley get starters minutes at point guard, and if things get really sideways, you still have Derrick Rose. But Derrick Rose is not the start. Derrick Rose is not the starter, and he's not the backup, and he's not the third stringer either. Derrick Rose would be like you run 2 point guards off the bench, basically.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, what happens if Quickley comes out next year like he did last year, play like crap the first half of the season, and
then you got Tyus Jones and Derrick Rose.
But
what if you?
But then the thing is,
Grimes.
hold on. But the thing is this: like, we're trying to solidify our point guard. So why are we gonna go second fiddle with the point and take Miles Bridges, who we have plenty of, instead of solidifying the point guard and finding another player?
Well, because first of all, you don't have a Miles Bridges on your roster. Nowhere.
I think I do. I think because Obi Toppin.
Please don't say
like
Obi.
him. Obi Toppin does the same things he does.
Okay,
Obi Toppin is a high flyer. I guess the difference between him and Obi Toppin is he plays better defense. But Obi Toppin is a great locker room guy. He's a great person for the city. He's from New York, and we paying him $6 million. I'd rather pay him $6 million than pay Miles Bridges.
What if you go get Brunson and make a trade for Dylan Brooks, give him a first round pick?
I don't know if they're giving up. I don't think they're shopping Brooks, are they?
Let me see.
I heard something like that.
I heard they are.
Know,
like, I think he's up for contract. But you see now, that's a player that that I
It's a
could.
defensive player we need. You know, a dog.
That's who I like. I liked him the most, but I don't bring him up because I figured Memphis wouldn't.
6'7" shooting guard. He's a big shooting guard.
Yeah, it's big. Brooks get busy.
That would be my next move. I would try to bring Brunson in and go get Dylan Brooks. You know what I'm saying?
These are all guys I've been said to. Kelly don't get no credit.
I'll give you the credit. He's a good.
All right, y'all. All right. I stole that from my boy Kelly.
Oh, you stole
I'm
that?
only playing. But I did like him. No, I just said I liked him. I ain't really say like. The thing is, I always thought Memphis is not shopping him, but if they shopping him, then I would take a chance here.
Okay, so he's an unrestricted free. He got 1 year left on his contract. Okay. He's going to be looking for a big deal too. He's going to be looking at. He's going to be looking at Jalen Brunson. He's going to want something like Jalen Brunson is getting.
He's going to want like 90, 100, or 100. Yeah.
I think Dylan Brooks is a stalwart on that team, though. I think when you first said Dylan Brooks, I was thinking about Brandon Clark. When you first said his name, that's why I didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? But Brandon Clark is a great player, though, in my opinion. I would.
Yeah, I think he's a great player too.
Yeah.
But okay, so just hypothetically, just not saying that this can be true, but yeah, I really would like. That's something that I can really say. Okay, we cooking now. You know what I'm saying? Because you could put him at the 2 guard and he can groom Grimes because Grimes is like a mini him. You know what I'm saying?
Dylan Brooks, yep.
He's like a mini him, man, and he's gonna be expensive too, though. So you're gonna be investing in that backcourt.
You said Grimes is a mini Dylan Brooks.
He kind of he's. I think Grimes is gonna make a leap this year, man. I think
so too.
Leaps this year, man.
He's gonna be a bigger ham sandwich.
I've always liked
double ham sandwich.
Yeah, I mean,
quarter pound of ham sandwich.
Say what you want to say, man. I really like Grimes, man.
No, I agree with you, Eddie. I'm just joking. I think so too. We the only ones that think so, man. A lot of people they're not really high on Grimes, man. Some people are.
I like them since we got him, bro. Like
Me too, I like him.
I was like, yo, when we got Grimes, I was happy, man. I was happy when we got Keels. I think he's gonna be a player too, man.
Yeah. If he could work on his handles and get in his handles tight.
He's got handles. What it is he has a left. He has a left. I've scouted him too. He can dribble with his left, but what he can't do is finish with his left. He's bad at finishing with his left, and he knows that, so he doesn't trust it. So even when he goes left, he'll still try to lay it up with his right hand, and he'll get blocked a bunch of times.
No offense, but the dude has no offense, right? Hey, Cully, the dude legit is Bruce Bowen. The dude is Bruce. Yeah, the dude is in that Bruce Bowen template. The dude is in that Bruce Bowen
bag, man. Did you see the guy? Oh man,
under his eyes.
Come on, man. Grocery bag. Come on, The kid is a baller, man.
Bruce Bowen is not a baller.
No, Grimes is a baller, man. Come on.
No, I said Bruce Bowen. You said, "Come on, the dude has a bag," and you saying Bruce Bowen wasn't a baller?
No, Bruce Bowen is respectably a baller too, but Grimes got a bag. He got an offensive bag, man.
Oh my! Oh.
I think Cully's like right. Like I don't think I never seen Bruce Bowen dribble the ball. At least I know Grimes could dribble the ball some.
No, not so much Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen was he was a good role player. But
he was a defensive stalwart who can spot up and shoot. He's in that same mold as no. I'm thinking about. I think Quentin Grimes is going to surprise you this year, Freeze. But
with what? What are you going to do? Pull a ring out of a hat, bro? Come on, man.
What's the guy that used to play for Phoenix?
Kevin Johnson.
No, the defensive guy.
Who? Sean Marion?
No, he was a
guard.
Barbosa.
Oh,
the one that used to guard Kobe. The one that used to guard Kobe.
Raja Bell.
He's in.
Yeah, he used to play for the Sixers. He used to play for the Sixers too.
I remember him playing with the Suns. He used to guard Kobe.
Sixers, Suns.
He's that type of. Bruce Bowen is in that conversation, and Shane Battier type. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, Shane Battier.
Oh my
God.
I mean, they're defensive guys, but they're just spot up guys. They ain't gonna dribble and go past you or nothing like that.
Grimes could hit you with a 2 dribble pull up. You know what I'm saying? Grimes
he's working on some
Penny Hardaway.
Some side
Grimes
step.
has that backup center handle.
Come on, man.
Grimes is not this guy. Y'all killing me.
Freezy, come on, man.
I'm trying not to bash our player, but y'all are going extreme the other way, bro.
Nah, I think he's always had.
He always had
something.
Tim Hardaway handles, right?
Nah, he's got something, bro. Like I've always liked Grimes.
Nah, for real though.
Well, we gonna see Summer League's right around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
For real, Grimes does have those.
He probably shouldn't even be playing. He probably even shouldn't be playing, bro.
Grimes. I can't wait to see Deuce. I can't wait to see Deuce, and then look at why we got to spend $100 million.
So then, Deuce is going to be Deuce Grimes. That's going to be a starting backcourt in the summer league, and then back in the month is going to be Montero and Keels.
I like Montero, bro.
Did you hear we signed another guy too? Was Morrison? Is it Morrison?
Yeah, Garrison Brooks.
Garrison Brooks. There we go, from Mississippi State.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah,
he had a great year his junior season. He averaged like 16 points, some odd rebounds. Like, he's not gonna go to the NBA now, but he'll be in the G League.
Nah, he'll be like the dude last year. He'll be like the dude Amir Sims. That's who he is, bro.
Right.
Remember Amir Sims?
100%.
From last year? That's about who he is.
I forgot all about Amir Sims.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because Leon Rose bringing so many
salute,
dudes.
C-Mac. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, man. Leon Rose bringing so many ham sandwiches, bro. We are legit drunk off ham sandwiches because Leon Rose brought in so many.
We got a buffet here?
Yeah, he got a buffet. He got a buffet a mile long of all ham sandwiches, bro. If you don't like these ham sandwiches,
you think IQ is a ham sandwich?
No. IQ.
Breezy likes IQ.
IQ. Okay. Clearly, I'm the only person that like Emmanuel Quickley, right?
I like him.
I think Emmanuel Quickley might be the point guard of the future.
I thought at one point, at the beginning of last year, I was there with you. But I just think that he should be a star in his role, man. And I think 6-man is his role. And I think that's what it's always been. And C-Mac says we overvalue our players. Maybe we might have done that with him. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that he can, but why can't he be, Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, man. Because now everybody's gonna be a starter.
Jordan Clarkson is a hell of a player, man.
Yeah, why can't
would you prefer him or Bruce Bowen?
So is Lou Williams.
Jordan Clarkson or Bruce Bowen?
It depends. That depends on the team that I have, bro.
I'm taking Bruce Bowen every day over him, and I think that's what Grimes is. I think that's what Grimes is.
Well, if I have Marcus, if I have Marcus Smart as my point guard, Dylan Brooks as my shooting guard,
you know
what I'm saying? Just all defensive players. I'm not gonna take Bruce Bowen.
Yo, salute Quiet Money. Salute my guy.
Quiet Money is in the building. What's good?
Let me see him in a minute. Salute Chuck.
Salute guys in the chat, man.
Salute my people
give a like to the channel, bro.
But y'all piss me off in the chat.
Subscribe, share, bro. Put a like up there for the
Hey, support the fam that supports y'all, bro. We put this platform up here legit so Knicks fans can have because it's real easy for me to like just come up by myself and just handpick somebody, you know what I'm saying, that we discuss stuff beforehand and we just get on here and talk about that stuff and don't even address the chat. But we don't do that. We open it up so the chat has to say, this is a chat show. You know what I'm saying? This is one of them joints where people from the chat come up and rock. Man, so all we asking in return is if you're gonna come in and eat for free, smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey Eddie C, you know how say you throw the cookout and your neighbor friends show up and they eat, you're like, nah man, we ain't charge y'all nothing. Can y'all go get some ice? And they say hell nah, and then you be like, well, put them damn wings down. Put my wings back in. Put my wings back in that damn thing.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Your wings wasn't even cooked good anyway. They still needed a little bit more on the grill, and I gave you those.
Yeah, and so we gotta tell Eddie C to put them beers down there. Eddie C, put them beers down and go over there and cook, bro.
Yeah, man. But
What's happening?
what I was gonna say is that I'm actually here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. You know, I could do whatever. I could, you know, I just got off work, but I'm over here kicking it with y'all, man, and like, you know,
And
just
we want you to be here.
giving y'all my 2 cents and letting y'all, you know, come
We
at
want
me
your
with
4
your
cents, bro. We
come
want
at
your
me
4
with your comments. Like, I'm down, bro. I'm here for y'all.
Yeah, man, no doubt, and have been for a long time too. By the way,
It's been a minute now, huh?
Yeah. We've been rocking for a long time.
It's been a
long
minute, yeah.
time, man. Eddie, see, you remember all the dudes we used to rock with like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago?
Yep.
Man,
What you
Raphael,
talking about? Cully's still there. Cully's still here. What you talking about?
Cully, you still here?
Yeah.
I think Cully is maybe upset that we might not get Malik Monk, bro.
Man, Malik Monk, he played a height last year, but what else does he? He's Jordan.
He sure
You know what
killed
I'm
us
saying?
though.
I guess. I don't know, but
Man,
Malik, all I can remember is Jordan smacking him in the back of the head every time I see Malik Monk.
He roasted Grimes. He roasted Grimes in that Lakers game, bro.
He did?
And I will, man. Everybody we put on Malik Monk, he just roasted them, right? Everybody, we like what? Why does? But it was y'all remember it was the ABC Saturday night game, the Knicks versus Lakers in LA. RJ Barrett hit the 3 to send the game into overtime. Y'all remember that?
Yo, my bad, yo.
Yep. That was a good game. Game.
And Malik Monk kept them in the game when Julius Randle was killing everybody, bro.
Julius Randle had Julius Randle had a great game. And the best part of his game was I remember him shooting the free throw and sprinting down the floor because the Lakers have that play where they put Anthony Davis at the end of the court after free throw so he could get the easy bucket.
Right.
And he would just sprint down the floor to defend him. Like,
yep.
Say what you say, he ain't letting Anthony Davis. He's like 2 people in the NBA that Julius Randle takes no shit from, and that's Sabonis and Anthony Davis, bro.
Yeah.
He played them too. He you know,
taking the lunch money.
Yeah.
Now don't forget KD. Sometimes he goes at KD.
I love Randle and KD, bro. I love the Randle KD matchup.
He plays him what he. Go ahead.
He play him tough. KD always gets the best of him, right?
Right. That's what I was about to say.
Randle shows heart against KD.
Mm-hmm.
Right now against Giannis, he play hard, but Giannis is a different animal.
Yeah, I think he's just too tall, too athletic.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you're talking about the Greek freak. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why they call him that.
Yeah, man. But you know what though? I will say this with all the potential free agents out there and the potential to clear all this cap space for certain guys, I would prefer. So my first option is this: trade away all the vets and play all the damn kids. Okay, just play all the kids, man. Cully? What's wrong with playing all the kids, bro?
We got Tibbs. That's the problem.
We'll fire Tibbs. Tibbs, if you ain't gonna play the kids, I'm gonna get somebody who's gonna do it.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get somebody that will.
That's the thing. Us as the fans, we would like to see the kids play, right?
Right.
But the guys in the offices that have their jobs on the line don't want to lose, because if they lose, if we come out next year, they're gonna get fired.
Yep, it's on their record. You know what I'm saying?
We have to think like we're the ones at the job, and if we messing up at the job, and this is our main job, and we messing up at the job, we're gonna get fired from the job. We're gonna be in a bad spot for a minute.
You know what, Eddie? See, you know what so bear with me. My boss's boss told me off the other day, right? Off in front of everybody.
Boss.
Yeah. He told me off the other day. He like, well, why did you do it sooner?
You brought him the wrong sandwich.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I thought you liked bologna. What the fuck?
I thought you liked vegan ham.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you liked bologna. You come in here smelling like it every day. You know what I'm saying? No, anyway.
That was bad.
I ain't say that.
That was bad.
Yeah, but nah, man. Why did you do it sooner? And so here's the thing. With Tibbs, with Leon Rose, if they don't play these kids and they play vets, and Tibbs get out the box at 17 and 13, guess who getting fired first?
Tibbs.
Wesley. Oh.
Tibbs. And then guess who else getting fired after that?
Leon Rose.
Right. Because the thing is, if you gonna suck, why are you gonna suck playing veterans? Why are we trying to develop Taj Gibson? Why are we trying to develop Derrick Rose? We out here legit trying to develop Alec Burks. On draft day,
we ain't trying to develop him, but
draft day.
Nah, Tim said he trying to develop him.
Salute Don P, man. Salute, bro.
Yeah, man. Don P, he say, hey, Don P is in the building. He says, stay within the content. True diehard. Yeah, we here back again, man. Back again.
Back to back.
And gonna be here in the morning.
Pause.
And gonna be here. Yeah, pause. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I was in the Die Hard podcast the other day, bro. They was getting me with that pause heavy.
Everything.
And I was like, yo, man, I ain't with that pause life, yo. I just be saying, well, come on, man. I be talking English.
My kids use that a lot too.
I'm like, nah, man. Come on, man. Let me live.
Yeah, man. You gotta
hard with that pause.
You can't pause. He said hit me hard with pause,
you know what I'm saying, man. They ain't let me live, bro. Like every other I got every other word I gotta pause. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So what I'm getting at, man, is play the kids, right? Let them play uninhibited, right? Take all the blinders off, take all the shackles off, and let these kids go out there and run 1,000 miles an hour and see what they can give you. And if they ain't giving you nothing, you just slowly take one out at a time, pull them to the side. Hey, bro, you ain't it. You got to work on such and such. Before you get these 25 minutes a game again, you got to come back with such and such. And if you don't, then there's a spot over there on that bench with your name on it. Sorry.
You know what's crazy, Freezy? It's crazy because how many coaches have the Knicks had that said that, their thing was, oh, I just want to give the team the best chance to win, and they played the vets and still lost. How many years have we went through that? I feel like it's actually sickening. Like,
right, it's like Groundhog Day. Cause you ever saw that movie Groundhog Day, bro?
Yeah,
with Bill Murray.
Yeah, I saw.
Like, yo, come on, man. It just is. And the thing is, when we fire Leon Rose in March, we'll probably fire him in March, right? And then hire a new dude right before the summer. The new dude is gonna talk like he is smarter than the old dude.
Gonna say not to cut. Yeah, he's gonna say, we're gonna get this team back to contention and all this thing. Gonna say all that BS,
all the stuff we already heard before, throwing shots at the previous regime, right? We're gonna build the right way. Well, the last dude thought he was building the right way, and the last dude valued trade assets.
We're not gonna take any shortcuts.
And the last dude said we're not gonna take any shortcuts. And the last dude said we're going to try to find some playmakers. I love New York. My granddaddy's uncle's babysitter's barber's cousin was a Knicks fan. That's what all of them say. I've been a diehard Knicks fan since June 26, 2022. That was yesterday.
Yo, so realistically speaking, right? Like this is probably what's going to actually happen. Okay, we get Brunson in here, right? He's going to be our starting point guard. Most likely for us to get Brunson in here, we're going to have to trade Alec Burks away. Right?
Yep.
So that's one of the veterans is not going to be taking up any minutes from anybody. Would you guys be happy with, obviously Burks is not going to be here, so Cam Reddish is probably going to get some minutes.
Yay!
Quentin Grimes is probably going to get some minutes. And would you be happy if Obi gets around 25 minutes per game?
I want to bump that to 30, but
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's really really feasible. If somehow some way we're able to get off Fournier, then that's it. Like we're able to see both the young and the team will be probably set. The only thing
Okay.
is that we can't bring back anything if we offload these guys, right?
Right.
So then we can probably, in what you're saying, we can probably let the kids play, get that done, and at the same time play everybody on our team and not be pigeonholed.
Right.
So are you just getting rid of Fournier as a salary dump? So like picking up 2 scrubs and just getting them on the bench or whatever and just not playing them or cutting them? Or
I mean,
you're looking to get something out of the deal?
unrealistically, the Fournier is very unrealistic. The Burks is a big possibility, probably even to Boston.
I heard that.
They have a
Burks to
trade
Boston is
exception.
probably better.
I think they're just negotiating on if they're maybe they're trying to get a first round pick from Boston,
Right.
and they're negotiating. Maybe Boston's only offering probably 2 second rounders or something like that.
I would take one of those lottery busts that they have on their team.
Romeo Langford and
Well, Romeo's in San Antonio.
oh, he's gone already.
Yeah, he was in a Derek White trade.
So what's the other guy, the shooter from
Aaron Neesmith.
right, that guy. I think you liked that guy from before, right?
Yeah, I liked him.
He was
and I
actually a
thought
good pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, for
Me
them-
personally, I would do it for somebody that I can just cut and second rounders. Maybe probably 3. If I could get my hands on 3 for Alec Burks and just get off the money. That's the route I would take.
Right.
And then Fournier is going to be tougher. Fournier, you're going to have to probably attach an asset to Fournier.
You know what?
Get
Eddie,
one of those
check-
first.
My
Go
fault.
ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. My fault.
Nah, just get the Fournier. You're probably going to have to attach an asset to him. But if you want to get the money off the books, you can get the money off the books and have somebody, play. You can play Cam Reddish at that time. At that point.
They have a center named Luke Cornett. Why not just do Fournier for Luke Cornett?
I mean, but to play him because then we'll have Mitch. Because I think we're probably re-signing Mitch at this point. Mitch is just waiting for us to sign whoever it is we're going to sign because we can go over the cap to sign Mitch then.
No,
I hope that's the case.
We can get Luke Cornett, and then once he becomes a free agent, we could just sign him to the max.
And Luke Cornett and Mitchell Robinson was that best tandem in the NBA.
You got your stretch 5 and your rim runner.
Jokes. Don't kill me, chat. Don't kill me, chat.
We just
The best of both worlds. The rim runner and the stretch 5.
Yo, man, it was like
and then
it was like Tom Brady and Randy Moss, yo.
Yeah, and then bring up Isaiah Hicks from the F League.
Oh,
because that dude was so trash. He couldn't. You remember the D League? He was too trash for the D League. He too trash for the G League. He's in the F League, bro. I just don't. Yeah,
I think he's in MMA right now, Isaiah Hicks.
Yeah.
But I mean, so going back to the original point, like just getting off Burks is a plus, right? In the sense of getting the money to get Brunson, and we're going to be able to play somebody. Grimes is going to be able to get minutes,
right?
And you already seen that Thibodeau has a reluctance to play Fournier and end the games,
right?
So he's already been through that. So he knows if he don't bring it, he's gonna sit, and most likely he's gonna be Grimes, RJ. I think that the best lineup is probably Brunson and Grimes for the defense, with RJ in the middle, right? But I don't think that's gonna happen. And then the toughest part is getting Obi his minutes. So Obi's gonna have to play some 5 this year.
Oh, that's asking a lot.
Yeah,
or vice versa. Randall at the 5, Obi at the 4, but those two together.
I just found something online. Let me show it to y'all, man. It's gonna make y'all laugh, right? And I think it's another point it's another solid point that we can look at for this conversation. Y'all see the cap space leader? You see what team right there has the most cap space in the NBA, right? I know it's small. Let me enlarge it some for those that need to. The team right there with the most cap space. Spell track with all these commercials, bro. Hey, Cully, can you see that?
I can't. Oh, now I can see it. Yeah.
The team with the most cap space in the NBA for the 2022-2023 season is the New York Knicks. As of right now.
What is the cap? What is the number?
The number is. Let me go back here. I'm just gonna,
because from what I know at this point, isn't it 18 million under the cap that we're at?
So we got 9 dudes 24 and under, and our average age is 27. Who the hell do we have on a team?
Taj Gibson.
Okay.
Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we got 9 dudes 24 and under.
Yo, you take those guys off, we're probably like 24, bro.
Yeah, we're probably the youngest team in the league. Let me shrink this down some so I can answer your question, Eddie C. You said what is the cap space? What's the active cap?
So do you guys think that get rid of Taj's $5 million, then still bring him back on a veteran minimum?
What is Spot Track doing? Wait a minute, hold on.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, what is?
Oh, okay. No. It's right. This is right. That number right there that you see is right. These teams with active caps that are at like 64. The Rockets are at 64 million. They have a lot of dead cap space, a lot of dead cap, right? So they have like 64, and then they have 34 and top 3 and 41 mil and dead cap space. I think that's because of the John Wall buyout. And Oklahoma City is at 86, but they got 28.5. I think that's the Kemba Walker buyout. Yeah.
So then what? But what does it actually mean? This Knicks at number 1 here.
This is what we have in. This is our active cap number. I'm trying to show it in a way. So the Knicks are over the cap by $3,800,047,000. I'm sorry, $847,465. So their projected cap space at this very moment. Now, mind you, none of this stuff. I think this is official.
Kemba can't be official until Friday. I think it is, right?
Right. I
got to step away for a second. I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Wait, so this clears up on the first day of free agency?
Yeah. Yes. On July 1st.
July 1st. Okay.
So this can't be accurate up to the minute. This has got to be accurate as of. This has to be accurate as of. But it can't be because it's showing that we only have 13 signed players. And I thought we had 15 signed players. For this. Hey, Kelly, guess what? This is for 2023. You see 2023 up in the upper left-hand corner?
Let me see. No, yeah.
You see it, 2022, 2023? So this is for the league year that starts July 1st.
Okay.
Right? Okay. This puts me in a weird mindset though, bro. Because if the Knicks have cap space or is in a weird space with cap space, what are we doing for Brunson?
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I don't like the whole thing with them clearing cap space. I figure GMs, that's what they're supposed to do, you know?
I think what happens is what's going to happen is the Knicks have some free have to release cap holes on people.
Right.
So they may release Mitch's cap hold.
What, like bird rights?
No, the cap hold. So if you release Mitchell Robinson's cap hold,
right. I know his
right, he's an unrestricted free agent, and you have to negotiate like everybody else in the league.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right? There's no 5th year, whatever. No.
All right, I'm back.
Hometown. No, go over the cap to none of that bird right stuff either.
Okay, gotcha.
So how did we get to that $18 million that we were talking about with the adding to the Kemba? Where did the other 10 come from?
Well, the first round pick that we traded away would have been worth $4 million.
Okay.
So Kemba plus that,
and then Taj, then you're waving Taj. I mean,
yeah,
because it's not guaranteed this year. So
yeah, but I don't think for the conversation, I don't think that's that. I think the only thing that's in the conversation at that point in time is the Kemba Walker trade, right? Because that's like $9 million and change,
right?
So why were we getting the 18?
I don't know. That frustrates me. I can't. And even when they were mentioning it, Eddie C, I still couldn't figure out how we go.
But it had to be because Woj said it.
Right, but and you see what I'm saying is the Knicks were $3 million over. They operated as a over the cap team so that they could use the exceptions, the mid-level, biannual, veteran, all that stuff, right? That teams over the cap can use in order to fill out the roster. We were over by $3 million. You trade Kemba and that first round pick, that's $13 million. That should have given us $9 million or so, $10 million or so, or $8 million or so, something like that, somewhere in that range. But Joakim Noah came off the books.
Okay.
Yeah, Joakim Noah came off the books at 6.5. And I can't some other.
So it probably was some other, contracts that we had. The what's his name?
Denzel Valentine. Remember we traded for him and cut him.
Okay, so it could have been miscellaneous monies around there.
Dead money maybe.
So 17. So so that's where the 18 mil came from. Okay. Yeah. So now it's understood. So then the 18 mil. Then you add that to the Burks contract, which is like another 9 mil. So that's where you get the 27. What everybody's saying that Brunson is going to command.
Right.
Because Taj Gibson is not factored in. That's another 5 million. Right. And okay. So in essence, we don't even, if we're just able to do one move, we can still get off an essence of 32 mil with the Taj Gibson wave.
32 mil?
Yeah, because if we have 18 right now with Burks' 9 point something, that's going to be 27 and change. And Taj is 5, I believe.
Right, that's 32. That's 32.
32.
Okay.
So that's where we're working at.
Yeah, something's not. I smell a rat here though. Something's not right.
And then Detroit is 25. So I guess this is why is the Knicks number 1 though?
Right. You're right. Hey, boss.
Hey, what's up?
Right.
What's up, Anthony?
Seems like we about to find out.
Yeah.
Hey, boss. Hey, what's up?
It was good.
Hey, you got YouTube playing in the background, bro?
Yeah. Hey, boss. Hey, what's up? It was good.
There it is. All right.
Brock Alder, man, the capologist at. We need a little assistance.
Yeah. And so, man, Dallas is $45 million over the cap, and they have $31 million in dead money. Right? $31 million in dead money.
And then you add another 25 to that.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard, bro.
And that's why they're saying, that's why it's not even a 2-man race. It's just a 1-man race, but we're just gonna give him the money that he's worth.
Well, the team in second place is the Detroit Pistons. They're interested.
Yeah, but they got 2 guys. In essence, it's been said in all the platforms. We basically took them out of the running for the players that we were looking at. They wanted a center, and we got him a young center. They wanted a point guard, and they lucked into a young point guard to go. So
Yeah.
But hey, let's not underestimate. I mean, I jumped in because I knew the Noah. I was going through the Noah $6 million. But
Right.
let's not underestimate a buy and trade where Dallas may get an offer from, like, who knows, the Lakers, some other Christian team that will be willing to give something that they really want up. So we can, assume because we have cap space or the most available to offer him is going to be there. I want to look at the pros and cons, though, because, man, if I'm Brunson, if I'm 25 years old and I'm Brunson, and I'm looking at New York taxes versus Texas taxes, Mark Cuban's wallet, conference finals with an established team, man, that family connection, that agent connection, and having my own team, that's a tough balance, man. I'm not so sure if they can find something in Texas, that's going to go, yo, Cuba's going to come with something, be like, yo, I want a ring. Right. And I don't know, man. I don't want to bet on that. They're going to be able to pull him, man.
You're right. Right. I don't want to bet against the Dallas Mavericks. I don't want to bet against Mark Cuban and those guys retaining this guy, especially when they can go over the cap to do it.
Exactly.
Right. Especially
but they've also had a history of this, right? Like, remember when they were going to sign DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah.
And
Nerlens Noel.
They were going to sign him, and then all of a sudden they got, I don't know how really smart they are. Even when we traded them Porzingis, like, we got them for that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys.
And then when it comes to that money thing, I think he can probably make that up in New York with endorsements.
Yeah.
So we should go.
Yo, you're in the Matrix, up.
Yeah,
No,
man.
I was saying if we don't get Brunson and he re-signs with Mavs, which direction do we go from there?
Trade away all the veterans and play the kids.
There we go.
What do we say all this? What do we say the cap space for though?
No, but you have to sign. Because you got to spend 90% of the cap, don't you?
That's what I'm getting at. So
So
what
you
do
might have to
we
spend it
do
on
with
some
that cap
bums.
space?
You got to spend it on more bums.
No. Just go get a terrible contract.
Just give it to Taj, right?
No. Just go trade for Kevin Love or Derek Favors.
I get PJ Tucker. Like, never mind.
Yeah,
or Sexton.
Yeah, or trade.
Yeah, Colin Sexton, terrible. He's not a terrible contract, but I get him. At that point, you need a point. We really do need a point guard, though. So I understand.
Quickly, you don't want to play Quickley at the point.
I want to play Deuce at the point, but it's not gonna happen. We can't get what we want. You know what I mean? Can't get what you want as a Knicks fan.
Yeah,
that's just it. I want to play. I don't mind IQ and Deuce and seeing what we have in them. I really prefer Deuce, but instead of paying that money to a point guard, a guy like Brunson. I like Brunson though, but would I spend that much? Probably not.
Okay.
But I will say though, he was clutching in the Dallas overachieved, man. They exceeded a lot of expectations. I wasn't expecting them to go to the conference finals, so that's why his stock is up like that.
Yeah.
Some team will pay him that much if the Knicks don't.
But right now, Dallas feels like we felt last year, where they're like conference finals, next year's the NBA finals. And we were like, oh, number 4. All we need is 2 more pieces.
Right.
So,
they might get those pieces. I mean, not to cut you off.
I hope so.
They might get them. I mean, they got Christian Wood. They, even though he's not really healthy a lot, but I like him, and they gonna try to make a move.
I hope they suck next year.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them. I mean, I respect them.
No, I like them too. But I hope they suck next year, bro.
I mean, I hope every team that's not the Knicks suck.
I hope they lose Jalen Brunson. I hope Spencer Dinwiddie plays only 60 games next year. What else?
We have their draft pick, right?
And Spencer Dinwiddie has the worst haircut in the league, bro.
He lost a lot of money getting paid in
And Bitcoin. Right? Yeah.
Well, when he picked it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And who else I hope has a bad year?
Oh man.
All the draft, all the.
I hope
no,
I
we
hope
need all the
Tim
draft
Hardaway. I hope Tim Hardaway takes shots away from Luka.
Why not trade for him? His father worked for the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm good with Timmy.
No, I mean, since we on this theme of if your father worked for the team, yeah, if your father worked for the team, you got to come play here, right?
We got 3 of them, right? Jaren Jackson Jr.'s father plays for the team too. He's our next power forward.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Jaren Jackson, come on, man, come on down. Come on down, and I kid, right? But the thing is,
Bitcoin will be fine by 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I would say to potential, or what I would say to Knicks fans that think the Knicks are potentially signing in the backcourt of the future this summer is slow your roll, calm down.
Yes.
This front office ain't showed you that they can do anything competent in free agency. Every year they sign a point guard, and every year they bring in a new point guard. Right? They started with Austin Rivers and Elfrid Payton. They got rid of them. They traded Austin Rivers, and they got rid of Elfrid Payton. They bought in Kemba. They just got rid of him, and now they're trying to bring in Brunson. And y'all don't think this time next year they're gonna be trying to get rid of Brunson? Come on, man.
What was the player that we were looking to sign last year? Did we have a player in mind last year?
Eddie C, don't do that, bro. Don't do that to us, bro. You know we did.
No, because
Eddie C, stop playing with us, bro.
Because
I'm thinking man. You playing too much, man. Stop playing.
If we had a player like this year that we know there's somebody that we depicted.
Eddie C, you know good and well we wanted Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball.
No, we didn't.
Yes,
no,
we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yep.
You guys wanted Lonzo Ball.
Eddie C up here trolling, bro.
I work for the organization. I told you I didn't want no Lonzo Ball.
Bro, you know we wanted Lonzo Ball, bro.
And you see how fast that talk goes away once he played like only 30 games.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And he's injured, and he wasn't even ready for the playoffs. And like they paid him like $30 million a year.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Leon Rose. What's up, Coach?
Sleep on that
Man,
Freezy, I'm so glad you've been doing your show lately. I've been hot, man. I've been hot. I calmed down a little bit. I was hot. I just couldn't get on the past few days. But I think it was like 2 days ago you had a show in the morning, right, and you were letting the front office rightfully have it. And I wanted to go on and just like hype you up even more, bro.
Ream them, bro. Just ream them.
I think you were being too nice to him, to be honest.
Freezy got a tag team partner.
Yeah, I got your back for this, man.
Legion of Doom. You got the Legion of Doom.
Oh, we're coming in with the spike and all that stuff.
And Eddie, see, you know how we form connections behind the scenes, right? You know how you get an email from a person that said, okay, so I'll give you an example of how it works. I'll get an email, right, from somebody. They'll be like, hey, Uncle Freezy, I have a source inside the Knicks organization. They say that all that stuff you say about such and such ain't even true. You need to fact check your stuff. And I'm like, well, who's your source? I can't say. And then I'm like, how'd you get my personal email? I can't say. But they say, listen, man, you have to understand that Tom Thibodeau holds 2 practices a day, like one team practice and one young guys practice. Tibbs is developing the kids. Just say something random, right? Something that we don't know. But then they'll say, but don't tell nobody this. Don't tell nobody. Just keep this under your hat. But when you make a point, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not
who that is.
Dudes. I'm not Ian Begley. I'm not trying to impress the Knicks or the NBA. I got a good life. I'm just hanging out on YouTube with my homeboys.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need none of that stuff. But yo, it's not as bad as what you make it seem. I promise you, the Knicks are gonna do something on draft day. Right. And I'm like, okay.
Get out of here. He said that.
And I hold it. This is a chain of emails, not just one.
This is like chain of emails. All right. So I promise you, Knicks are gonna do
I
something.
already have somebody in mind, so in my brain, I'm thinking, is this person exactly? So I'm like doing the whole novella here in my brain.
No, man. No, it's somebody. It's something. It's something.
Good, shoot, good, keep on going.
Right. And so it's like these weird different things of the front office has rabbit ears type situation. Like the reason why they don't talk. Because they got ears perked up everywhere. Like they so touchy and sensitive. And like you see other Knicks content creators, I know they reach out to them too. Like, hey, give us a break. You know what I'm saying? You know this was a disaster before we get, you know what I'm saying? Have you noticed that other content creators, anytime there's a mistake, they'll get on the verge of going off, but they won't.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. Right? And so with me, I'm like, yo, y'all, not, you know, I'm trying to get Julius Randle. Can I get Julius Randle? But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The point that I'm getting at is this. The front office is not as bad as they look, but at the same time, they do disastrous stuff. Right? So here's the thing. On draft day, if you had told me and Ashley A, like, hey, say we're not gonna, or just leaked it. Say you leaked it to Mark Berman. Say, Berman, we ain't gonna do nothing on draft day. You know what I'm saying? Just tell Berman like 3 days ahead of time, and he'll work the circuit for you. Like, you know, we'll do something. We ain't doing nothing on draft day. We probably just gonna kick the can down the road, right? And so what that does is it prepares the fans, because by the time Berman say it and go on with the streets is buzzing, and by the time he go on Knicks Fan TV and SNY and all this stuff, by the time draft day come, Knicks fans ain't looking for nothing. But when you don't do that stuff, you have us hyped up for adding another piece or two to the young core. And then on draft day, when you don't do it, you look like a damn liar. Right? Because you said in that statement after the season that developing the young core was a priority. And I quote, while prioritizing the development of the young core. And I know y'all heard that so much that it burned y'all ears, while prioritizing the development of the young core. And then the draft come and you don't even pick in the first round. Right? So now it's like, well, wait a minute. How can you improve the young core by not adding to it? Don't tell me that Thibodeau is doing the development on the court in these separate practices, because I don't care.
Right.
I don't care, because you develop them in these separate practice means you're not going to play them on game night. I don't care. And then you got 2. What do you have? 2 years left, Anthony? Hey, they have what? 2 years left? 3 years left? This is year 3 for them, right?
Yeah, this is year 3.
This is year 3 for them, and they have not drafted a star.
Yep.
What star have they drafted? Right? Don't tell me Quickley is a star. Don't tell me Obi is a star when he averaged 6 points a game for his career. Right? So you tell him, you feed me all this BS stuff when all it's been about the whole time is them swinging and missing in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did you not draft well, you don't acquire free agents well, and the dudes that you play for, the dudes that you trade for, don't even play. The dudes that you trade for don't even play. You traded for Vincent Poirier, Terrence Ferguson at the trade deadline 2 seasons ago. You cut them. You traded for Cam Reddish. You don't even play him. You traded for Derrick Rose. He's always hurt. You traded for Denzel Valentine and Solomon Hill, and you cut him. So you the way you trade sucks. The way you draft sucks. and the free agents you sign suck. And you sit here and want us to be patient about some trades that you made to make yourself look like you did something when you really ain't did too much of nothing. And then content creators get on, and this is the thing that frustrates me. Content creators that get on and co-sign for this bullshit.
Tell them, Freezy.
They like, yo, they playing checkers while everybody else playing chess.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
man.
when they say that.
Really?
You sound like somebody I know.
Yeah,
Really,
Leon
that's
Rose is playing chess. Not like shut up.
This
Right,
chess,
right,
not checkers.
Right, that's the
Right.
catchy. You sat around for 3 days and that's the catchiest thing you could come up with. He playing chess while everybody else playing checkers. Really? The Detroit Pistons got better right in front of our face.
Yes.
The team that had the number 1 pick in the draft last year is better than us right now, and you telling us your ass need 5 years to rebuild, and the damn Detroit Pistons rebuilt in a year and a half.
Exactly.
But you telling us it's going to take the Knicks 5 years?
Mm.
Come on, man. What are we doing out here?
Yep.
If you're that slow with all this stuff, we need to get somebody else in here. And I don't blame Dolan. I wish I could blame Dolan for this one. I wish that I could blame Dolan. I wish I could find something that Dolan did wrong so I could blame everything on him. But Leon Rose is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Right? Elfrid Payton. He re-signed Elfrid Payton in a year that saw Chris Paul, John Wall, and Russell Westbrook all get traded. He could get neither and re-signed Elfrid Payton. and topped it off by signing a relationship dude in Austin Rivers. A relationship dude. I knew Austin since he was a baby. Me and Doc Rivers go back. Y'all remember that when he signed Austin Rivers? He said, I knew Austin since he was a baby. Me and Doc Rivers go back 20 plus years. He, I, and Tibbs have had a relationship since such and such. And he traded Austin Rivers the same year.
Yep.
Man, are you kidding me? We always give. Listen, when Steve Mills was in, and listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying this is anything based, but when Steve Mills was here, Steve Mills at least tried. Steve Mills at least tried. Steve Mills got you RJ Barrett. Right? He didn't get you Zion, but he got you RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. Right? And people hate Julius Randle, and they say, well, RJ Barrett ain't nothing. But what they don't say is Steve Mills signed a dude that made the All-Star team, and RJ Barrett averaged 20 points a game. Phil Jackson drafted Kristaps Porzingis. Right? Steve Mills also got Knox, Mitch, and Alonzo Trier. In his short time here, Leon Rose has got you a bunch of ham sandwiches and terrible free agents. And we're saying that this MFer is making the team better. How?
You're saying that he playing chess, Freezy.
He playing chess. He playing chess by bringing in Kemba Walker.
I don't even know if he knows this is basketball.
I
playing chess without a clock.
What do you think about that? What Freezy's saying? Color blocks.
He's cheerleader, man. He said it. I don't even gotta say anything more.
Yep.
Because I'm just making myself mad again. One of the biggest ironies. Remember that letter, that nonsense letter he sent to everybody.
Right.
It's like how in one sentence you literally write, "We're gonna build and develop and all these things," and I'm like, you just have the 11th pick in the draft. You contradicted yourself. You just had a chance to build organically through the draft. And just there's so much to talk about and break down. I don't even want to. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna let Freezy handle that because he's handling it well. I wanted to just talk about Brunson real quick. I'm mad about Brunson too. I'll just be quick. I'll just be quick because I don't want to get too hot. I don't mind Brunson. Like, he's a fine player, but one of the biggest things that's really disappointed me actually in the past few days is the fan base, because I have never seen a fan base, and the Knicks front office for the past 25 years has been a mess. So I'm always mad at them, but I'm never really mad at the fans because I think we have a pretty knowledgeable fan base. But I have never seen a fan base overnight start carrying water for a player as average as Jalen Brunson in as quick of a time as I've seen in the past week. He's fine. I think he'll be like a good player for us, but I have never seen a fan base instantly become Jalen Brunson experts overnight. It's crazy to me. That just rubs me the wrong way because it shows how much people are forcing themselves to buy into Jalen Brunson because they're trying to not acknowledge how badly Rose and company messed up. But that's a different conversation. The second thing is in regards to Brunson, where was this energy last year for DeMar DeRozan?
Right.
If we're gonna pay Brunson the same amount of money DeRozan's making, I'd rather have paid the multiple-time All-NBA player than a guy who probably won't make an All-Star team. Right. That's my big Brunson thing. And then one more thing about Brunson, because I want to talk about Murray too. We're not gonna get Murray. I don't even think we're in conversations with Murray. But one thing I started looking. I'm assuming Brunson's gonna be here, so I started digging deep into the stats, really breaking down what Brunson is good at, and I think that people are confusing themselves about the fit here, because I think people think that Brunson will be a good fit here. I'm not saying he's gonna be a bad fit, but we don't run 5 out. We don't run a fast break. We don't run 4 guards. A lot of Brunson's operations happen when he operates out the post. He'll post up the smaller guard and then kick out to a wing kind of thing. I don't know how he's gonna do that when Mitchell Robinson and Randall are camped down there. I looked up his passing chart from this past year. The vast majority of his passes just go to Luka Doncic. So it's all right, we don't have that here. 20% of Jalen Brunson's passes, not assists, just passes, just go right back to Luka.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen here. I don't it's not as simple as people think it is, which I think is making it even more confusing for me. And then if you look at Murray's stats, his passing stats, all of his passes, all of Murray's passes go to the bigs. So if Knicks fans are saying we need to unlock Mitchell Robinson, we need to unlock Obi Toppin, there's a point guard here available in our price range who gives out all of his assists to big guys, and we're not looking at that point guard. Instead, we're looking at the small point guard who doesn't run pick and roll like that. He's not an assist guy. He's a scoring guard, which is whatever at this point in the league, but he's not gonna help out Mitch and Obi the way people think he is. It's just I think people have just gaslit themselves. It's hard to explain it, and that has just made me more angry after the whole Leon Rose situation. Because like I said, I don't hate Brunson. I think he's fine. He's a solid player. I don't think anyone thinks he's a bad player, right? I don't think anyone
thinks
he
was solid.
Yeah,
he's not a bad player at all, yo.
Yeah, but it's
so you think he is a handsome?
I don't know if he's a ham sandwich. Or you know what's funny? Freezy? Actually, speaking of ham sandwiches, Freezy, because I got real mad that when we did the Brunson thing. Right. Jalen Brunson's career average is 16-5 or whatever. Raymond Felton averaged 17-9 when he was here. Right. And he was $5 million. But yeah, again, different conversation, I guess. I don't hate him. I don't think he's a ham sandwich. He's better than what we got. But the fact that we just going the fact that we're pulling out all the stops for a guy like him is just weird. It's just weird to me.
It's weird.
Where was this energy for? Where was this energy for Kevin Durant? Where was this energy for KD?
You've been a great
The
caller.
only
Two
thing that I'm
things.
gonna say with that is
It's just
Go ahead.
I don't know.
the only thing that I'm gonna say with that is that we can have Jalen Brunson and still have assets to get another superstar. If we do that for Dejounte Murray, then we won't have assets to get another guy.
Well, here's my concern. Actually, here's a great point you made. We went from hyped up about a dynamic, athletic, potential freak of nature point guard in the draft. And we switched that to go, oh, Jalen Brunson is going to be the switch from what we think we needed to now what we say, oh, yeah, we need him. That comparison between Brunson and Ivy is so different that the change in determination from one to the other, having the same kind of passion, makes me go, no. If either we want an Ivy kind of point or we don't. If we want Ivy, we can't go to Brunson. We got to go to someone who brings us at least somewhat a part of that athleticism. A little bit of that. So that's one of my concerns about a fan base putting to Brunson. Brunson is above average. He may even be excellent, but I don't think he moves our team in the direction we need to move. That fit, like you said, is not what Brunson is going to bring for us.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned what I did. I think he's just gonna be an excellent piece to add on to the player that the superstar player that in essence we're gaining up capital for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
I don't know if Dejounte Murray is that guy. I mean, to me, he's not that guy, the superstar that I'm going to give up all my assets for.
Okay, so let's get Brunson. And who else would you bring that will make us a contender?
Donovan Mitchell. I think it's Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. I think
In the
that's the guy.
backcourt.
I think that's what we're going to get. I think that's who we are. I think that's it.
So we're going to roll out the shortest backcourt ever known to man.
Yeah, didn't Portland do it?
Yeah, but those guys were 25 each.
Right.
That was 50 points a game from your backcourt.
Who was 25 each? Like, you mean scoring?
McCollum and Dame.
I mean,
and
Brunson and Mitchell
Dame is listed at 6'2", and McCollum is listed at 6'3". Brunson is listed at 6'1", and Mitchell's listed at 6'1".
I thought he was 6'3". He might be shorter than that. You might be right on that, but I think he's listed at 6'3". But anyway, I think that is the backcourt of our future.
And just like last year, we went into the season with only one perimeter defender, which was RJ, and we're gonna do it again. And we're gonna do it again this season. Only go into the season with one perimeter defender on the team, and it's RJ.
So
and
we
then be mad. Yeah, and then
that's,
be mad when no one can play defense.
That's why I said I'd rather have Quentin Grimes in the starting lineup because of his defense. He'll help out tremendously there. Because he can, offset Brunson and he can switch on 1 through 3.
What about Fournier?
But I also mentioned that Tibbs ain't gonna do that because Fournier's around. But if
well, it's
hypothetically
when
we were speaking on this, hypothetically we were speaking on trading the Alec Burks pick to Boston, the player to Boston, and then finding a way to offset an asset and Evan Fournier to get his money off the books. That way we can play more of the kids.
Wait, but I didn't hear y'all. We getting rid of Cam in any of these situations?
No, well, at this point in time, he's part of the solution.
I highly doubt Cam is on this team this year. I honestly doubt Cam's on this roster in September.
Yeah, me too.
The way the organization works, you might be right, man, because this is business. This is like the first thing you said, like resonated with me because you said that they forget that this is an NBA team. I think you said something like that.
I don't remember.
But you're right. I don't think it's that they forget as an NBA team. I think they just look at it as the business in itself. Because that's what they in essence do. They make business decisions when it comes to making draft picks, when it comes to getting capital, when it comes to paying players, when it comes to doing all these things. And they've always done it like that. Like Brock Aller is like the man. Like
okay, another question, real quick.
They take their cues from him.
Another question. Bring Brunson. who saw one play, one set play, or one even inbound play that Tibbs had last year? Or is Brunson going to be freestyling like we're on West 4th Street or at Rucker? What's our offense going to be like with Brunson that's going to make us better because of our amazing coach on the offensive side?
No, well, let me ask. And let me answer the one play. The one play was
He was one of the better coaches off timeouts. Tom Thibodeau, yeah, that's what the numbers said.
Was he?
The numbers said that.
Tibbs?
Well, you know numbers lie, Eddie.
Yeah, I thought we looked confused.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the cheerleader for that.
Analytics is crap.
I'm baffled by.
I believe you, Eddie. I just gotta look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the two things is the buzzer beater against Boston was a play drawn up to go to Alec Burks, and Boston predicted. Tibbs is so predictable. They read it. RJ clapped for the ball. They get it to RJ. He shoots over Tatum, banks it in. The Knicks win. And the game winner or the game tying 3 RJ hit against the Lakers. That's it.
Oh no, it wasn't last year. It was a year before where he was one of the better coaches out of a timeout. Last year he put Alec Burks at that position all fucking year.
Because my thing is if your offense is struggling and at a dead ball, call your best offensive set. Like call Caddy, call Honda, call Razor, call Blue, something familiar where everybody is like, oh, this is a simple play, but we execute it. It's like how the 49ers used to run the slant play with Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? The other team is shutting you down. Just. But it's
kind of like the same in the NBA. Like, just forget the play call. Just give it to the best player. Give it to Donovan Mitchell if you have him. The thing is that we don't have that guy on our team. But with Brunson, probably he might be able to fulfill that role for a short spurt until we get the guy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him do some remarkable things going one-on-one, especially going to the basket against big guys, pivoting, going back, pump faking them, getting layups, getting fadeaways. And I go back to the ultimate sign of respect for me when it came down to Brunson. I think this is what actually won me over when it came to at the end of the day was the best defensive player that we've seen in the last 6, 7, 8 years, winning championships in the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green was the one guarding Brunson in that series.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Does that mean Jalen Brunson couldn't get past a power forward?
He's not really. Well, yeah. Brunson's not really fast. He's just crafty.
Right. No, it was basically that. It was like basically we're gonna put the best defensive player on this guy. Obviously, he's not the best player because Doncic, we all know, is the best player. But the best defensive player to me is Draymond Green, and they decided to put him on Jalen Brunson. That's the ultimate sign of respect to me, bro. And that goes past numbers. That goes past anything that you want to look at. That's just straight up ball. This is my best defender. I'm putting him against you. What you gonna do?
Was he the best player on the floor at the time?
Nah, most likely he wasn't because Doncic is on that team. No, Draymond Green was guarding Jalen Brunson that whole series.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because they put what's his face on Luka. Bielitsa. He guarded Luka because he's big.
I like Bielitsa also.
Yeah, and then Wiggins had the series playoff of his life.
And probably Wiggins was the one guarding.
Yeah, they put Wiggins and Bielitsa on Luka.
Because of the speed.
All the big athletic guys on him. Yeah.
He's faster, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like Brunson he's not super fast. And he doesn't have like a super quick first. He's very crafty. Great footwork.
He's strong.
He posts up a lot.
Yep. Physically strong.
Yeah.
I mean, but the best thing about this whole situation is that you can get Brunson and you could get a star.
Who though?
I mean, I already said Donovan Mitchell, but you have the assets to get the star. You know what I'm saying? The star isn't Brunson. In the other scenario, Murray is the star.
Or the
Murray
other
is the one that you're
scenario,
giving up the
none of
assets
them.
for.
Or the
Huh?
third scenario, none of them, where we keep all our assets, we keep our cap space, and we play our youth and see what we got. That's the third scenario I want to listen.
I mean, the thing is that we have to suck really bad next year. If we suck really bad next year and we get the number 1 pick, then I can see where you're coming from with that.
Do you
I
think,
don't think that's gonna
as
happen
much
though.
as I like Donovan Mitchell, do you think he puts us over though?
If he
No.
comes with Brunson, maybe. Nah, he might.
You might have to get a third guy. You never know. Wiggins might
But
be
here's the
available.
thing. This
You
is
need
why I
a
don't
third
like what
guy.
Leon did, because he saw what Cully just said, right? I'm not calling you out, Cully, but it's like that's what Leon Rose just did. He's gonna allow people to say, "Oh, well, next year. Don't worry, we'll get him next year."
Right.
But now we're becoming the New York next years.
Yes. Yes, and so, Coach, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Leon
now
Rose is selling everybody
he's
on
gaslighting everybody. Yeah,
kicking
he's,
the can down the road.
yeah. But there's like, you know what it is? There's kicking the can. All right, so what? Here, Freezy, I got you. What OKC did on draft night is kicking the can. They
Right.
said, you know what, Dieng is going to take a few years, but we trust him. You know what I mean? Jalen
Right.
Williams is raw, but we think we got something. We didn't
Right.
just kick the can. We took the can and we punted it 50 yards down the block.
Right.
And
Downhill.
downhill, bro. There's no
Yeah.
plan here.
Right.
And I asked this to people about the draft afterwards, because it's not even necessarily about trading out of it. It's
You
just what
can't
happened
say that
afterwards.
there's no plan though, Color
There is no
Blocks.
plan. I'll tell you what
These
the plan
people,
is.
these
I'll tell you what the plan is.
I can't believe that, because these people get paid a lot of money to make these sorts of moves. I don't think that they just go in that one day draft night and say, "All right, this is what we're gonna do." I think these are plans that are already made out through weeks and weeks during the process. Like, I can't believe that there's no plan. Like, I really can't believe that.
What incentive is there for the New York Knicks to win games if we're the highest grossing franchise in sports?
None. None.
Right? Okay.
The plan is that there will always be another plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. That there'll always be another plan.
The plan is
So
the
they're
plan is
hoodwinking us. They're hoodwinking.
the plan is keep your job.
Yeah.
That's the plan. The plan is keep your job.
But didn't we just say that at the beginning of the telecast of the
Wait, hold on.
podcast? Go ahead, bro.
I feel like this is why I hate Leon Rose. He gaslit us, bro. Did we all forget collectively that we spent a decade chasing LeBron twice?
Yes.
We forgot,
forgot.
right? I guess we forgot. We wasted
Yep.
10 years of our lives chasing
Right.
LeBron 2 separate times.
Yep. Yep.
And people
We chased Chris Paul twice.
Yeah, and Chris Paul too. It was always together. It was always them together.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm just like, yo, did we just all collectively forget that we wasted 10 years of this franchise? And it's happening again.
Yep. And we make excuses like,
Yeah.
we need the point guard of the future. We need a point guard of the future, but every year a point guard comes available and we don't chase him. This year it's Dejounte Murray, right?
Yeah.
This season is Dejounte Murray. And
Okay,
the
so I'm
Knicks
gonna
are
ask
not
you.
even in
I'm gonna
negotiation.
ask you the same question you asked me, Color Blocks. You think we get Dejounte Murray and he puts us over the hump?
More than Brunson.
But Eddie, so
But you see my argument though. It's Brunson and the star, not just Dejounte Murray.
We're not getting that
DeJounte
star.
Murray-
But Eddie C, listen to what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You took the bait for the misdirection.
Yeah.
The problem is not that we need a point guard, right? The problem is this team needs star players. The point guard argument is only thrown when you can't get the star.
Right.
So the thing is right now you don't have a mega star on this team, but you got mega stars in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in Phoenix, Arizona, and freaking Salt Lake City, Utah. They have stars,
Two of
right?
them.
And in Memphis, Tennessee, they have stars, bro. Come on, Eddie C, come on. In Boston, Massachusetts, they have stars.
Or than Oregon.
But in the biggest city, in the biggest market, does not have a star and can't get one either. Right? And
So
then
is that all of us? Has that always been at our own fault? Like, didn't we have one of these years? Didn't we have the worst record in the league, and we still didn't get the number 1 pick?
I gotta interrupt because I hear what you're saying. All right, if you get the number one, if you get like your top 5 pick, it helps the process a lot. I get that. I totally get that. But we've had cap space, which is the other way to do it,
Yep.
many times in the past 20 years, more than
Yep.
most teams, and we haven't gotten it done. So I don't know. I can't. All right, you strike out on the draft because of luck, fine. But we've done the cap space way. There's only 2 ways to do it: cap space or the draft. We've had cap space a lot of the times. We had it a year ago and wasted it on vets. We always whiff on cap space. The only free agent who's come here in the past 25 years is Amari Stoudemire, because we're the only team that can insure his knees.
And he was injured. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Because we like the ugly girl, right?
No,
Like,
no team.
We're
will
like the
insure-
ugly.
No
Yeah,
team will
like
insure
in
his
free
knees, so
agency,
we had to
we're
do
like
it,
the
yeah.
ugly girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Miami's pretty. Miami's a pretty girl. The Lakers are a pretty girl. We're
But-
like the ugly girl.
Hold on, wait, chat. I gotta respond. It's not about a new regime. It's not about the past. I'll tell you the only stat that matters. This is the only stat that should matter for you, everybody, for the rest of the year. The Knicks have won in the past 22 years. It's a long time, by the way. So actually, that's a good number, 22 years, right? Because that means a young star in the NBA probably didn't grow up with this. But in the past 22 years, the Knicks have only won 1 playoff series.
One.
Yeah, we
One.
suck pretty bad.
And then coach, when I compare us to teams like the Cleveland Browns, right? People are like, no, the Knicks ain't the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
Kinda are.
When you look at the records, the New York Knicks are pretty close to being the New York Jets.
Oh, I like that, Sherman M. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So and so the thing is, when you bring in an agent like Leon Rose, don't tell me he doesn't have relationship with stars, because he used to represent them. He used to be Chris Paul's agent, right? And you're telling me that a guy that was the cream of the crop in the agent world can't even bring in a superstar former client? That tells me we picked the wrong guy.
And you think we probably shunned us, right? Because I think that was like that whole thing with with Thibodeau when they had that, you know what I'm saying, that spat that he said that Thibodeau sent somebody to hit him and this and that, and you know what I'm saying. Maybe he shunned us. You know what I mean?
But Eddie, see, I would say to that. Listen, what I'm saying to the reason why I'm saying all this stuff, man, is not because I dislike Leon Rose as a person. I just don't like being lied to. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I just don't like being lied to. Like sometimes I'll say something to y'all and it don't want to be true. Like I'll say, yo, I'm jumping on at 11, and then at like 15 till, like, my mother called me and try to talk my head off. You know, so I'm like, Mom, I gotta go. I gotta get on the thing. She's like, you on that internet thing again? You know what I'm saying? And then it go over. Then I don't get on till like 11:20. You know what I'm saying? So, but Leon Rose said in a prepared statement by his lawyers and PR department that he is prioritizing the young core, and draft day came and he traded out of the first round. That there, my friend, is a lie.
But I think that's because he just likes what we got. Like, he likes the family that we have now, and that's what I think he's real big on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fine with what he
We ain't
had.
winning.
And
Yeah, that team, but the team
who
is
knows?
trash.
I know.
Yeah, that family trash.
I'm sorry. What was that? Sorry.
The family's trash.
I mean, sometimes I don't know, but
Now, let's talk about chess a little bit. By the way,
hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish
Okay,
this
go ahead.
point. Maybe, Walt Perrin to me is a genius. He's a genius.
What has Paul Walt Perrin done since he's been with the Knicks?
Look
This
at
is
the
his
picks
third
that he's
season.
gotten. Look at the picks that he's gotten.
What
Where
picks?
he's gotten.
What picks? Name them.
Obi Toppin. Emmanuel Quickley.
Okay. Nice.
Quentin Grimes.
Solid.
Deuce McBride,
Decent.
Jericho Sims.
Eddie C,
Beautiful.
listen. All these dudes that you named, aside from Emmanuel Quickley, are single point per game scorers in their NBA career. All of them.
But so was Giannis the first 2-3 years of his career.
These dudes, no. I'll pull up
That's not the
Giannis numbers.
same,
I'm gonna pull up Giannis numbers and put them on the screen.
So was Paul George.
I'm gonna compare.
Career.
Paul George used to average like 4 points in his rookie year.
All right, okay. Y'all think so,
But it's
right?
not.
Okay.
It's not because. But it's because of the situation where they have.
Jimmy Butler, come on.
We've had this conversation before. Didn't we say if Obi was drafted by the Sacramento Kings, he would probably be averaging around 15 points per game, 16 points per game?
Yeah, because he can run around.
So Paul George in
Exactly.
his first 3 seasons
It's
averaged 7.8, 12.1, 17.4.
Who's
right?
that?
That's Paul George, right?
Uh-huh.
That's Paul George. Not 7.8, 13.1, 17.4. Right? I'm gonna give you a hint. Obi Toppin didn't average nothing close to that in his second year. All right. So who's the other? Giannis. This is.
And they were drafted after them. Both of those.
I love the Giannis one. Giannis averaged 6.8, 12.7, 6.9, 22.9, 26.9, 27.7, 29.5, 28.1, and 29.9.
He went from 6 to 12 back to 6?
No.
What was the first 3 years?
16 is the third year. 16 is the third year.
What was the first 2?
6.8, 12.7.
12.7.
All right, let me read Obi's. Because Obi is going to be Paul George and Giannis.
Obi's got 2 years, right?
Obi's got 2 years. Obi in his first season averaged 4.1, and in his second season he averaged 9.0. So
right,
Obi
next
didn't.
year,
Obi didn't. Nah, bro.
So next year, if he averages 12 point something or 13 point something, he's gonna be around the same. He's gonna be around the same.
The trend is no. The trend is these dudes average double digits in a second year, and Obi did.
Yeah, but he's duplicated his average from his first year to his second year, right?
No.
Obi.
No.
I mean, he stepped up a little bit. But real quick,
you mean did he double his? Did he double his scoring? Yes.
Right.
Did he duplicate it? No. Because if he duplicated it, it'd been the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant, though.
Okay. All right.
Let's talk a little bit about chess. By the way, you know my brother Freezy, Maurice actually is first black grandmaster in chess. If you want to pull up the website, you'll see. Chess players or poker players, often this regime right now does not show their hand. They keep everything secret, right?
Hold up, Anthony A. But let me just say this before. But what you didn't say about those statistics, Freezing, was the minutes per game. How the minutes per game jump. Paul George averaged 29 minutes a game his second season.
Yep.
And I'm not even going to put up Giannis.
Right. And you know what? And Paul George was on a playoff team.
So
what does that tell you about Obi?
He was on a playoff team his first year. What are you talking about?
Not his second year, though. Not his second year.
But he was on the playoff his first team, though.
Right, but not his second year. You said Paul George in his second year averaged 29 minutes a game, right?
And then
that was a playoff team.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah, but I didn't equate that to that. I was just talking about the minutes per game in essence to the points per game. That's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, basically what it is Obi Toppin will never be Paul George.
No, I'm not saying that he's gonna be Paul George. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that the first thing was that Walt Perrin, makes a living off making the picks. And if he didn't make the pick at 11, was probably because Usman Dang wasn't good enough. Probably was Jalen Williams wasn't good enough. AJ Griffin is a CAA client. He wasn't good enough.
I understand what you're saying.
And then the biggest thing for me is when it comes to that stuff is the Grimes draft pick, because in that draft we saw everybody that got drafted before Grimes, we saw everybody that got drafted after Grimes, and there's probably one or two guys that were better than him throughout the whole draft. So that just goes to tell you that he can handpick the player in a room full of chickens.
Yeah, but Quentin Grimes is a 6-point per game scorer, bro.
Who was the, but what about the one that we traded, Kai Jones? How many points did he score last year?
And Quentin Grimes, for those that say Quentin Grimes' defense is what got him on the court, Quentin Grimes is a net negative 2.5.
Kai Jones didn't even play, bro.
You bullying.
He averaged 1 point. He averaged 1 point per game.
But
right?
That's the guy that we're talking about Grimes, though. We're talking about Grimes.
but I'm talking about the players that we traded away. That people are like, oh, how stupid were we to trade those guys? Keon Johnson, I think, was another player, right?
Right. What about Herb Jones? What about Herb Jones?
7 points. That's what I said. I said there was 1 or 2 players that played better than Quentin Grimes after him.
Right. But
so the guy who's averaging 1 point a game, we drafted him to trade him. We traded
that pick. We traded that pick away.
Him though, right? We didn't draft him.
So we drafted him for somebody else.
The thing is, none of those dudes played a minute for the Knicks. Quentin Grimes played for the Knicks, and he averaged 6 points per game.
James Johnson. What's his Jalen Johnson? This is another dude, right? That we should have taken supposedly.
But he also didn't play.
But yeah, and the thing is Walt Perrin didn't draft those dudes.
2.4.
The argument was that what you said was Walt Perrin is a draft genius.
Right.
But Walt Perrin didn't draft those dudes. Walt Perrin drafted Quentin Grimes, and Quentin Grimes averaged 6 points a game.
Well, Herbert Jones only averaged 9 points per game.
Yep. And Quentin Grimes, the defensive, he's going to be Bruce Bowen, is a net negative defensively.
Yeah, man, but you saw how he played. You saw him get up into players, bro.
Good question.
But it don't matter. People hitting shots.
Let me go back to the chess analogy. Everyone's talking about how this front office is playing chess, keeping low profile, nothing slips out, no leaks. Are we really going for Brunson? Because if you're a chess player or poker player, why would you go to his game that you could watch on TV with other players? Why would you're showing your hand right now. You're showing your move. Why everything else we have done, we don't show our move. But all of a sudden, it's the most obvious potential tampering type things we're doing right now in the open. We could sign Rick Brunson, and not actually announce it yet. We've done that before. We could do all these moves behind the scenes, and we could watch the game, or could even send scouts to the game that are not as obvious as the ones we sent saying, we won Brunson. Why are we doing that? Or perhaps because he's playing chess, he's not going for Brunson, and he's trying to throw them off who we're going for. That's my thought. I don't know. Right now, I'm concerned about that move right now. Again, everything that Leon's done so far, I'm a little skeptical. It's like that PR release. I'm skeptical right now where you dropped 4 second-round picks, but brag about having 4 extra ones. You threw away 4 with Kemba and brag about, we got 11 over the next 7 years, which is really 4 extra ones, which means those 4 picks are disposable. Just get rid of a vet. I'm just saying.
He's talking about the next 7 years. Sarge, he's talking about the next 7 years, and he only contracted for the next 3.
Exactly.
When I saw that, I don't think I've ever seen someone say that.
What Leon did, I would have been okay if he did that maybe next summer.
I would have been okay.
This summer, I think Ousmane Deng would have been, at least, if he would have been like, okay, after this I ain't drafting, I'd have been okay with Ousmane Deng and the guys drafted before him. I'd have been okay with that. I don't know. Because it's like you got a power forward, and this would be your wing right here. What's Ousmane Deng, 6'9", 6'10"? There you go.
He's 6'11".
6'11". Yeah, there you go. You drafted a point guard, shooting guard. That completes it. All right, now you go get your crappy vets, your mid-tier vets, and then you start putting it together. You traded out. You traded Ousmane Deng. I was okay with Ousmane Deng. I saw the potential in him. That's what I
liked him.
I think in time he could be, Tayshaun Prince template type guy, a Derek McQueen template type guy, like
Derek McQueen.
a guy at that height that can do a lot of the things that guards do, but be multi-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not good. And I say Derek McQueen. I meant to say Derek McKee. I'm sorry. I know Derek McQueen, but I meant to say Derek McKee. What I'm getting at is these guys, man. You could bring some of these guys into your great development program, and get them on the road to becoming the players that you want them to be in 2 or 3 seasons, right? Instead, you make a hard pass, right? And I know, and listen, color blocks, I promise you, I'm almost willing to bet that they're going to get rid of a guy like Cam Reddish that has a lot of untapped potential and bring in a kid and bring in somebody like Wayne Selden. Yep. It's what Tibbs does, right? Bring in a grizzled vet like Wayne Selden that's just there to take up the 15th spot because he's a hard practice player.
No,
right?
That's not true though, man. That's there for business reasons. That's money. Because if you look at his contract, I think Wayne Selden was signed for like a $3 million contract. So they do that to just in case there's a trade to be made that they need to add the money to, they're able to send a player of that ilk in the trade. And they do that. That's just smart business. To me, that's smart business. We looking at it as basketball, and I get it. Like, he sucks. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he even sucked in summer league. But it's just somebody that's able to have camaraderie with the team, and at the same time, you're paying this guy this X amount of money just in case.
And it's probably non-guaranteed also. It's probably non-guaranteed. Right. Where we can cut them and it won't hurt your cap. You know what I'm saying?
This stuff is all thought out, guys. That's when the things that are made by the organization are made. I have to take a step back and look exactly what it is, because I know that it's thought out. I'm 100% sure that these things aren't made on a whim.
No, I don't think we disagree with that.
Right.
I think the issue is that these are terrible plans.
What? Yeah. Okay, so the terrible plan. Okay, let's just go through it. The terrible plan for this draft, right, was having
holistically the whole plan. So the draft, the free agency, the Brunson move.
Okay, but let's talk about something specific, right? Because then that's a pot to talk about.
All right,
let's talk about the draft.
Well, no,
what would you preference be?
It has to do. The draft is part of their bigger plan, like you said. And my question, I think Freezy's question, other people's question, what is the plan?
What is it?
So how many times have we come on this platform, Freeze, and talked about how many kids we have already?
Right.
So then we're gonna add. We have like 8, right?
9.
And now we're gonna add 10. We're gonna add a full
10
basketball.
If you count Jokibitis, 10 if you count Jokibitis, 12 if you count Keels and Montero. Yeah.
We can. Can I ask you a question? Keels. Hold on. Sorry. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you watch the draft?
Yeah.
Like the lottery, not even the whole, just like the lottery.
Definitely just the lottery.
All right. So after the draft, could you kind of tell me, just yes or no, like could you kind of tell me what San Antonio's plan is?
San Antonio.
Yeah, based off their draft picks.
They drafted. Okay. So San Antonio. Well, not because I don't really look at other people's teams, right? So San Antonio drafted 3 players, right?
All
right. So let's see what they did.
They drafted Sohan,
Jovic,
and Blake Wesley. So would you say like the Spurs have a plan?
Yes.
Okay. What about
Spurs have a plan?
What about OKC?
But
it's just like yes or no. After the, like, even if you don't agree with it, do they have a plan? Is there a clear kind of plan?
Their plan is to accumulate draft picks and save money at the same time.
And on the court, they want length.
Yep.
All 5 of their guys are like 6'8".
Yeah. Oh, you mean do they have a picture of what they want on the court?
Yeah, basketball.
Yeah, OKC definitely.
Yeah.
OKC is going with length and Euro style basketball.
Uh-huh.
And if
then,
you don't like it, so what?
and Spurs too, they're going for positionless because they got Sohan
Right.
and all these guards. All right, what
And
about
right, and
Detroit?
Sohan is bought in to be the Spurs' next Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he'll
Right.
yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure Freezy, if he was there when we picked, we probably would have picked, right?
Probably.
No, we didn't work him out actually.
He was the first person we worked out.
No, we did not work him out. If he did a group workout, but we didn't work out an interview him.
Okay.
Okay.
So what about Detroit's plan? Do they have a plan on the court?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They went in one night. In one night, they went from being the slowest team in basketball to being one of the fastest teams in basketball.
Yeah, but you can't.
One night.
Hey, hold on. Time out. You can't say that though. All right, so
can.
check it because you're going too fast and you're not even letting me answer the questions. First of all, when it comes to San Antonio, right? They made their draft picks. Okay, 20. They had the number 9 pick, who they picked. This guy, is a great pick, Sohan, right? Is a great defensive player. I'm fine with that. Of course, you're gonna pick the guy. You said at 20 they took Jokic, and then at 25
they took Branham, and then they took Blake Wesley.
Yeah.
Branham, okay, Malachi Branham. All right, so he's a player who has length. He's like 6'5", 6'4". Knicks were looking at him, solid player, and Blake Wesley is kind of like the same player as Branham.
I'm not trying to go. I think you're missing what I'm trying to get at, Eddie.
But you're not. But you're asking me the questions. But you're just.
Yeah,
Giving me, all I can say is yes or no.
My man said, "Yo, if
yes
answer this, yes or no." That's
yeah,
I don't know what their plan is because they have a bunch of guards on their team. So why did they pick so many guards?
You tell me. You can answer your own question.
What do you mean? You tell me.
On the court, why would a team decide to get?
It's the same thing that we talk about
and
the
a bunch of
Knicks.
guards.
The same thing that we talk about the Knicks. There's a whole bunch of people at the same position.
No, but all right, you missed the point. The point was that even if it's not, I wasn't clear about it. I'm trying to get at this. There's a bunch of teams after the draft. Even if all of their draft picks suck, they at least have a clear idea of where they want to go on the court.
Right. Excuse me. Right.
And we don't have that. Draft pick or not, we have no idea what the on-court product's going to look like in October.
Right.
But like I said, for Detroit, Ivy could be a bust, Durant could be a bust. It doesn't matter. But they at least are planning to play fast.
Okay, so then next
for OKC,
on to the next
all these,
point then.
hold on.
So we got off San Antonio, right? So now we're on Detroit. Detroit lucked into Jaden Ivey, coach.
How'd they luck into
Jaden Ivey was supposed to be picked by the Sacramento Kings, and everybody knows that.
Right.
He sabotaged that to go to a team that he really wanted to go to. And the two teams probably was Detroit, and the other team was probably the Knicks. But obviously, Detroit has a clear pathway to get Jaden Ivey. So right then and there, they lucked into Jaden Ivey. Because if they didn't have, if Sacramento, who should have picked Jaden Ivey, you're talking about Sacramento taking Keegan Murray then.
So the point to Detroit's thing is they wanted to play faster, and then Jaden Ivey fall into their lap.
But you can't say that they have you can't say that they have a plan because the plan can't come into fruition.
How can you not say that when they're chasing Miles Bridges right now? The whole plan was for them to get faster and more athletic. And Jaden Ivey,
but it doesn't. The plan doesn't.
They have a plan.
Fruition.
Hold on, Eddie.
The plan doesn't come into fruition unless they get Ivey.
He just capped. He can't. Hey, Eddie, see right now you capping for the Knicks organization.
No,
Eddie,
I'm not even talking about the Knicks.
Eddie, I got you right now. Okay, they lucked into Ivy.
They lucked into Ivy.
What was
what? They still had a plan.
What was their next?
Okay.
Wait, listen, hold on. They lucked into Ivy. I mean, interrupt you. What was their immediate next step?
Durant.
Yeah, that means they had a plan.
Precisely. If it wasn't Ivy, could have been Matthew.
Actually, we used. Okay, but we were the ones that facilitated that for them. So we had a plan as well, right? When we couldn't get Jaden Ivey, we were the ones that traded for the Charlotte Hornets.
Eddie, I followed the draft.
Traded to them.
Eddie, I followed the draft incredibly closely. If they didn't get Ivy, they wanted Durant.
Durant.
That was their guy.
Right. I heard that if he wasn't, he was actually in the discussions for the 5th
No,
pick.
I'm talking about before Ivy. Yeah, for the 5th pick. Yeah, if Ivy was gone at 3, 4,
Right.
whatever, they were taking Durant at 5.
Okay,
So
then.
even without Ivy, they still had a plan to get faster.
Right.
Right.
They
You
had
see
a
what I'm
plan.
saying?
Okay, so then there was a plan to get the center at 5.
to get faster.
So that was their original plan
To get faster.
to get Jalen Duren at 5
Yeah.
because they're in dire need of a center.
No, they wanted pace. Because if they wanted a center,
Pace.
they would have signed Mitch.
Right.
They wanted pace.
Yeah. They trying to get yeah. Man,
They
yes.
can sign. They can either take the center
If
at
they
a
wanted a
cheaper
center,
value.
they would have signed Mitchell Robinson.
With,
But you
they want
can't-
more
the
open. they
thing
want
is
more
this:
open.
if you're looking for the center in particular, you're going to
fast-
always take the guy that you can draft.
But then they
because
would.
he's
Why not take
cheaper
Mark Williams?
and
But that,
he's
but,
younger.
but that wasn't. But
Right.
that
Why
wasn't.
not take Mark
but,
Williams? Yeah.
But that
Exactly.
wasn't even a question. That
Yeah.
wasn't even a question. The question is, did the Pistons have a plan? That was the question. Yes
And
or
it was
no?
to get faster.
No, but the plan was to get faster.
Yeah. Okay. The first
Okay.
two words were the first two words you
plan.
said were the plan.
So yes.
So you are admitting that the Pistons had a plan. That
The
was
plan-
all.
okay,
That was
So the
all
plan
Coach
was to get
asked.
faster, but listen to me, Freezy. The conversation is way different. If the Detroit Pistons take Jalen Duren at 5, and I don't know what they do after that, then you can
Okay.
still say that the plan is to get fast, but the conversation doesn't even come up because Jaden Ivey's not in the conversation.
But Eddie C. Okay. So there is a plan. First of all. And secondly, the Pistons left with 2 lottery picks.
Right.
So even if they took Duren at 5, who's to say they wouldn't have drafted a fast player or traded for that fast player at 13?
Who's to say? But the conversation ain't going to be the same because there's not going to be Jaden Ivey.
But they
Forget
had
about
a
Ivy.
plan.
We're taking Ivy out of the mix. Did they have a plan? Is a question. Yes or no?
Hey, Sarge, they had a plan. They had a
They have
plan.
a plan. Yes.
Yes,
That's
they had
what-
a
that's
plan.
what I'm trying to
Okay.
get
So
at.
their plan was to get, yeah, but it's a totally different conversation when you put Jaden Ivey in that conversation,
No.
and then you put who else you want to look at that's fast.
But
let's look at somebody that's fast.
But
so-
the Knicks,
all right,
don't have a.
yeah.
So,
Jalen
coach, to your
Terry.
point, the Knicks don't have a plan.
Right, and it has
The-
none. And that's the thing. It has sorry, Freezy. It has nothing to do with even drafting. If we didn't draft, but we had a plan, I would have been okay with it.
Right.
But we gave up the picks with no clear
okay,
plan.
so the plan is to gather assets. Okay, you couldn't get Jaden Ivey, right?
Right.
That was
Right.
the original plan for the Knicks.
yeah.
And that's not a crime because a lot of teams couldn't get them.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Okay.
I get that.
So then the plan after that is we can't get our guy. Let's trade out of the pick
and do
and
what?
get future assets
For what?
so we can accumulate more picks, so we can make moves, and then if in the future get a star.
I wish.
But what's the plan, though? Wait a
yeah,
second,
what's the
before you answer-
plan?
before you move on-
I
move
just
ahead.
said it.
Acquire,
Accumulate picks.
As far as the team itself, what kind of team are we building? Are we just gonna
We're
move?
still in the crux of that.
We're
We're still in the crux
plan.
of building the
So
team.
we don't
There's
have
no
a
plan.
plan. We don't have a plan.
It's not a plan.
What has the plan been since the beginning? Acquire picks. Hasn't that been the plan
we've been
since the
doing that for
get-go?
20 years.
But what kind of team are we building?
No, we haven't.
We don't
we've-
know what type of team.
No,
What
Are we,
type
are,
of-
we gonna, are we gonna
the
change-
acquiring of draft picks started when we traded Porzingis.
Okay, the question though is, here's a question, here's a concern I have. We are looking for a potential star. So let's say next year the star is Anthony Davis, or the star is Donovan Mitchell. Which one do we really look at because we have no definitive plan for the team? They're two very, or let's go to Joker. A Joker's a slow team. We're not gonna be running with Joker, right? So
No, well, I don't know. That
Okay,
looked pretty
I'm not-
fast to me.
okay, he's faster than we think.
But it
And he
doesn't
does
matter
fast.
which. Okay, so Anthony A. So it doesn't matter which the star is. The thing is having the assets to be able to get the star.
So there's no plan. The plan is just get
when
a star. not for
when
the
has
team,
that
not
plan
the team.
ever worked for us?
There's no team direction.
Never.
The plan is get a star.
We have tried that. Sorry, Anthony A. Finish.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're
sorry.
right. Go ahead.
We have tried that
But
plan.
we've tried it through
so
free
many times.
agency. We haven't tried that through trade.
We did.
We've
We
been
did it for
trying to get it
Melo.
through free agency,
We did it for Melo.
right? And it didn't work out, right? Like the team wasn't built correctly because we had Amari
Because we
Stoudemire,
had no plan.
Because
We started
never
chasing,
have a
had no
plan.
plan.
but that was a
Right.
different regime.
The plan.
I'm talking. Let's talk about this regime. Let's not talk about what happened 10 years ago.
Oh, y'all don't want to talk about this regime.
The regime has had
Y'all
no
don't
plan
want to
since
talk
day
about
one.
this regime.
But this regime has been doing that from the get-go. They've been accumulating picks. They've been coming back, accumulating picks, scaling back, having free agency money, doing some free agency. Have they been perfect? No, they haven't been perfect.
No, they get an F in free agency.
It's actually been
Yeah,
free agency's
probably.
been
F
no,
minus.
free agency's been so
F
bad
minus.
that we had to sell back our stuff.
We have to sell back our stuff for a higher price. We legit
Okay, so
had to
let's
sell
talk about that
Kemba
scenario.
for a higher price.
So let's talk about that scenario. All right. So we had to attach a pick to the Kemba Walker trade so we can get off the money, so we can have some cap space to sign Jalen Brunson. Right?
Okay.
Let's talk about that point.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson last year wasn't the player that he was at the end of this year, right?
No.
Okay, so this year he became a player that you can get off salary cap so you can sign so you can better your team. So when they signed Kemba Walker last year, which they thought they were doing something good for the organization, right? It didn't turn out to be good. Okay, boom. That was an L. So now Jalen Brunson is available this year. We've seen what he did throughout the whole season. So now you take the Kemba Walker contract, you add assets that you have a plethora of, so you could get under the salary cap, so you can sign Jalen Brunson. Because that name last year was not a name.
Okay.
But this year, he's an equivalent to a lottery pick for us.
I have a question. Last year when we had cap space, so after we hit the 4th seed, great season, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
What after that, after it was all the dust settled, what kind of team would you say the Knicks were on the court? What kind of type of basketball did we play?
Last year?
Yeah.
The 2 years ago, I guess. The 4th seed year. That summer.
That team was a gritty team.
Gritty.
That team was a
defensive-minded team with length. Don't forget how tall Elfrid Payton was, and how tall Reggie Bullock was at the 2 and 3, and RJ's height and physicality at the 2 and 3,
length,
and Randall at 6'8", 6'9".
It was kind of like grit and grind a little bit.
Yeah, grit. Yeah.
And so you want to talk about the current free agent or the current front office. So you got a 4th seed. You know your team is grit and grind defense. You got all this cap space.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't make a single offer for Alex Caruso. You didn't make a single offer for DeMar DeRozan. You didn't make a single offer for Lonzo Ball.
No.
So you didn't make a single offer for Norman Powell.
Okay. Hold on a second, coach. Hold on a second, coach.
There's all these guys that
those
fit your
names.
style
Did
of
those
team,
names?
and you
Were
don't go
those
after 'em.
names on the list before the beginning of last season?
What list?
Okay, so we were saying to ourselves, "Yo, we got to get Alex Caruso."
Right.
I like Alex
Caruso.
He's a great defensive player. I really like Alex
He's
Caruso.
very smart, bro. A high
I like
basketball
Alex
IQ
Caruso,
player.
right? But when I made my list, Alex Caruso was not on my list. Now,
here's the point.
Chicago Bulls made a great run, and now Alex Caruso is the player that where Coach Color Blocks can say, why didn't we make a run?
That's not true at all, because he was doing the same thing on the Lakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're bugging,
Right.
Eddie.
But
Eddie, you're
the thing
bugging.
is, when we're talking about free agency, he was
their
not
defensive stopper on the Lakers, bro.
And Lakers fans are mad that he's gone.
Yeah.
Right. So you were on
platforms.
You were on platforms last year before free agency saying, "Yo, we should sign Alex Caruso."
100%, and you can check them.
Okay. All right. So you have great foresight, and
No,
I'm not
it's
taking
not,
that
but
away
that's
from
the
you.
thing, Eddie.
I'm not taking that away from
Eddie,
you because I try to have good foresight
Hold on,
myself.
Eddie. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not some magical scout. If we're a defensive first team, you sign the defenders on the free agent market.
But the talk,
it's not rocket science.
The talk after the debacle was we didn't have enough offense.
Okay. No offer for DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah.
No offer for Norman Powell.
DeMar DeRozan is.
No offer for
They
Kyle
had great
Lowry.
seasons. They're good players. Yes, they're good players. But DeMar DeRozan's contract is 30-something million, 30 point something.
27?
You mean the amount we're
Yeah.
about to pay Jalen Brunson, right?
Yeah.
And he's 31 though.
So
He's gonna be
he's
32.
all NBA. He was literally all NBA last season.
And we were the fourth.
No,
we were the
that's,
fourth.
I mean, sometimes it happens where you hit a home run. And I can't front. The Chicago Bulls they didn't hit all home runs because Lonzo Ball was definitely not a home run.
Nope.
But they did hit a home run with DeMar DeRozan. They probably hit a double with Alex Caruso. And then they struck out with Lonzo Ball.
No, they didn't strike out.
And they hit on their undrafted players and second round picks. And so that's one of the things that we speak to about the Knicks. Like we say, well, Miles McBride is a great draft pick, but he ain't did nothing on the court, right? Quentin Grimes was a great draft pick. He averaged 6 points a game and was a net negative, right? Obi Toppin was a great draft pick. The dude is averaging 6 points for his career. Emmanuel Quickley was a great draft pick, and he shot less than 40% from the floor 2 seasons in a row, right? We are overrating our players because they're ours. If these dudes put up those type of numbers for the Lakers or the Bucks, we would be killing these dudes, right? If Obi Toppin was averaging 6 points a game for the Golden State Warriors, we would be killing Obi Toppin right now.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys in the chat, man. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to stand my ground here against these.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I gotta get out of here, man. Can I
ask one more question about the front office?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Last one. Last one, Freeze.
Eddie, see, we still doing. Hey, everybody, I gotta go because I'm doing the vibes and stuff at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at 7:30 in the morning, and it's 2:00.
You working hard,
but let's do the front office thing real quick though. Let's do the front office thing.
Front office just gets announced, right? It's Rose and Company. They had the press conference.
All right.
Who's their first hire?
Worldwide West.
After Worldwide, the coach. Who's the coach hire?
Oh, Tibbs.
All right. What kind of coach is Tom Thibodeau?
Defensive minded. And here's the thing: Tibbs is a defensive minded coach, right? But I think his best skill is developing raw players over the course of an extended time, right? If you give Tibbs 2 to 3 years to develop a guy, I think Tibbs can develop a Jimmy Butler.
He can develop Quentin Grimes into Jimmy Butler.
Oh God!
Come on, Freezy.
He's good.
Come on, baby.
He's good with guards.
You could. Come on, baby. Because that's what it reminds me of.
No. Grimes.
That's what it reminds me of.
Grimes is never gonna be Jimmy Butler, bro. Ever.
All right. They were drafted around the same time. They're around the same age. They have great defensive instincts.
Eddie's funny.
But what I was gonna say is Tibbs took a player like Taj Gibson, who was a second-year player when Tibbs got there, and turned Taj from a athletic four that got a lot of putbacks, stuff like that, to a 180 defensive-minded, hard rebounding, hard-nosed guy, high IQ basketball player. Taj was one thing coming out of UCLA, right? You remember UCLA that team had
He could make that in. Maybe that Jericho Sims. Is that Jericho Sims?
Who was on that?
He has extended time with Jericho Sims.
DeMar DeRozan. So it was DeMar DeRozan, Taj Gibson.
Somebody else too.
Was it
Nick Young?
Vucevic?
Nick Young.
Was it Vucevic?
Vucevic was his replacement.
Okay.
I think it was Nick Young. It was Nick Young and DeRozan. Yeah.
So what's the question, Coach?
If you just told me all these things Tibbs is as a coach and as a developer, a talent, and all these things, this is when I knew the front office didn't know what they were doing, because they hired Tibbs first, and you're like, oh, I expect a certain type of personnel to be on this team. So why would you draft Obi Toppin, who is the antithesis of a Tibbs player?
Because we needed a power forward We didn't know Julius Randle was going to have the year that he had. We needed
You
a
didn't
power
need a- but
forward,
you
and
didn't-
if
you didn't need a
you didn't
small?
draft the power, if you didn't draft the power forward at that point in time, you were not going to be able to draft the power forward later in the draft because you wasn't going to get an Obi Toppin at 25 like he did Emmanuel Quickley. So you were smart at that instance to get your power forward early, and then get your guard later in the draft because you couldn't do it vice versa.
You got to think basketball here.
I am
What kind?
thinking
You're
basketball.
not because he's a
Dude,
defensive
I'm
first
thinking
guy.
but you
What
got to
kind of
be
offense does
smart.
he
You
run?
got to be smart. It was like the Charlotte Hornet
What kind of
picks.
offense does he run?
It's like the
He's
Charlotte
run it
Hornet
for
picks.
20
You
years.
have, let's say, for instance, the 13th
Hold
pick
on.
and
What
the
kind of offense
15th
does he
pick,
run?
and the Cleveland Cavaliers are right in the middle
Eddie, you're not
of
gonna
the
answer.
13th pick and the 15th pick because you have to understand it's the
He's
13th
not gonna
pick
answer
and the
me.
15th pick. You need a center, right? You want a center. Okay, so you don't take a center with the 13th pick because you know Cleveland is not going to take a center with the 14th pick. So you go and you take a guard at 13, you let Cleveland pick, then you can take your center at 15. That's in essence what the New York Knicks did with Obi Toppin. They needed a power forward. He was the last power forward on the board. So you take him, and then you go and you get Emmanuel Quickley at 25 or 26.
Except Isaiah Stewart went 16. The starting center for the Pistons went 16, right? And Pokusevsky went 17. Sadiq Bey went 19.
I give you Sadiq
Precious Achua went 20. Right. Zeke
No, I give you Sadiq Bey.
Zeke Naji went 22.
Obi Toppin's better than all those guys you just mentioned.
No, I'm saying, Eddie, listen. I get what you're saying because in essence, what you're saying is you get the prime guy first. The elite guy that you don't think you can get later, you get him first, and then all the stuff that you think you can get later, you get it later. Right?
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do.
The smart
I
thing
understand
to
that,
do is,
but you don't do it when
yeah.
you already have a power forward in the building.
But the first thing
that's
I
my-
let
that's my
off,
only
the
beef.
first thing I let off was that you did not know Julius Randle was going to pop off like that.
But what
He
about
was going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year.
what about your small forward? Who played small forward the year before?
Mo Harkless?
And Mo.
Was that right?
You see what I'm getting at? So why would you get a backup for a position you already have in the building instead of filling a spot that you don't have?
And also,
So
if
you would have
got- wait, hold on.
taken.
No, I'm gonna tell you who they. This is why I knew they didn't know what they were doing. If you got Tibbs first, and he runs dribble drive offense, which he's done for 25 years, you draft a guard.
Right.
When you bring in a new coach for an NFL team, you give him his quarterback.
Yep.
You don't care who's
So
there.
you would have drafted Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Then the following year, you wouldn't bring in Fournier and Kemba to Tibbs' team. Those two guys do not play Tibbs basketball.
And then Tibbs has his guy to run
I mean,
his offense.
to me, I like Tyrese Halliburton when he came out. Like I thought he was going to be a great backcourt mate for RJ Barrett. Okay. There was people that didn't think so. He slipped to 13, I believe it was, to the Sacramento Kings, right? Was there for 1 year, had a phenomenal year. The next year he got traded.
And still doing very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah,
I'm just putting the facts out there though. Like this is
I'm just not
the chronological
front office, bro.
Yeah,
The front office has botched every draft they've touched. They've botched every free agency they've touched. Every draft, every trade they've made has been unremarkable, right? And what we do is say hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. This front office didn't embarrass us. But look, there's a difference between not being embarrassed and making progress. And this front office does not make progress. This front office does not move the needle. Every asset on this team that we have going forward, every positive one was put in place by a previous regime, right? RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, the Dallas pick, the pick at 11, that they traded out to get futures and all that stuff. Hey,
I'm gonna get y'all mad before we bounce.
Okay, because I got to get out of
here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get y'all mad before we bounce. If Walt Perrin would have been here in that RJ Barrett draft, Walt Perrin would have traded RJ Barrett to the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 5th pick and an extra first-round pick, and he would have taken Darius Garland, and we would have gotten an extra pick. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he won at Garland, didn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't know if he wanted Garland or not, but probably so. That wouldn't have made me mad, because if it improved the team, I'd have been okay with it.
So then, why are we getting mad at the regime? The regime does this. They are smart.
Because
The
they
thing
don't.
is that-
Because
the thing is that we
Darius
can't see
Garland
it.
is not on the roster.
But I'm saying,
show
if he
me-
would
show
have
me
been
Darius
there,
Garland.
I'm pretty sure. Yo, I'm
Where's Darius
positive.
Garland?
He's in Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. We would have traded R.J. Barrett. We would have traded the 3rd pick to Cleveland.
Objection,
Cleveland would have gotten R.J.
Objection.
Barrett because they were loving. They really wanted R.J. Barrett bad too.
Objection, Yana. This is
Wait, are you saying that RJ's better than Garland?
Yeah.
Hey y'all, thank everybody for coming through.
Because he's not.
Thank everybody for coming through. We'll see y'all at Bob's and stuff, 7:30 in the morning. We'll see y'all for the Knicks morning drive around 9:45 ish. Y'all have a good night and be
Peace out,
I'm gonna
chat.
try to hit the morning.
Love y'all.